Hello and welcome to Project Eden's Garden. I'm Luce, and this is a Danganronpa fan game that came out a bit ago. It's only the prologue chapter, to my understanding, but I'm still in the mood for some mystery shenanigans, so figure now is a good time for it. I guess these are fine. I don't mind if I mess a bit on stream, so let's see how it goes then, shall we? I actually had a bit of trouble getting it to record when I opened up the game and put the recording in my recording software. It actually ended up mirrored. And I found out, oh, that's because it's in full screen mode. So I'll have to be wary of that. Life has no meaning. We exist just by chance, born to a planet that didn't even want us to begin with. Planet's kind of an asshole. It's up to the best of humanity to give the world a purpose. People like me. Those who shine brighter than others, who have an influence on our greater society. Oh no, we're a bunch of influencers. The Ultimates. We are known as the Ultimates. Ultimate titles are awarded to exceptionally talented high school and college age students. Doctors, the cure and the incurable, engineers who build machines to improve millions of lives, the most influential politicians, the most creative architects. These are the people who deserve lifelong recognition, who define what it means to be a true Ultimate.
I, Damon Maitsu, am the ultimate debater. A prodigy among prodigies. Someone who simply can't be outmatched.
Hmm.
I hold on to my title dearly, because it defines me. It's who I am. Among a sea of mediocrity, I am a shining example of talent. And now, there's a school worthy of me.
The Ultimate Debater. To Mr. Damon Matsu, the Ultimate Debater. Congratulations for your contributions as an Ultimate. We cordially invite you to attend Eden's Garden Academy, a specialized college for academic-based talents. At our unique academy, you'll not only develop a tighter grasp on your respective skill set, but you and the other Ultimate students who have received this invitation will gain ever important proficiency at leadership, communication, persuasion. Oh dang, an extra persuasion check sounds especially useful. In an age where anyone can be called an ultimate, we hope you'll join us in assuming your rightful face is the true face of talent. Rightful place is the true face of talent. Please keep the contents of this invitation, as well as the attached registration materials, strictly confidential. Oh, lovely. That's not fishy, right? The integrity of our program is built on the foundation of privacy. Eden's Garden Academy, an ultimate academy for the true ultimates. It was built in partnership with the Ultimate Talent Program, a government institution that has awarded ultimate titles for people for almost the last century. You don't apply for the ultimate schools, they scout for talents. The students, which is how I found out myself receiving a letter from them. It looks to be an amazing school, immaculate architecture, incredible workspaces, and access to resources beyond anything I've ever seen. Everything about the school is perfect. It's truly worthy of being called ultimate. In my 18 years of living, I've accomplished more than most people could ever dream of. Within this random and chaotic experience, it feels like I was destined to be great. After what seemed like hours of waiting, the train arrived before me. It wasn't as nice looking as I expected, at least not for a school of this caliber, but it was undeniably the one. With luggage in one hand and a pamphlet in the other, I boarded the train. This is the start of my new life, the start of an even greater career. For the first time in my life, I'm finally among people as great as me.
Huh?
Alright, before we get too much further, I do want to state for the record that the Danganronpa main 3 games, 1, 2, and V3, were among the earliest games I actually streamed on this channel before I had much of an idea of what I was doing. Well, less of no idea what I was doing. So, unfortunately, they are so far back I did not save any of the VODs, which is rather unfortunate. But still, they were quite enjoyable experiences, and I did like them, which is why I'm here. I was thirsty for some more history, and after being shown this, I figured, yeah, this feels good.
someone else is here.
Huh? Someone else?
Hey, welcome to the Eden's Club. Well, it's more accurate to say Eden's Garden Academy's Club, but Eden's Club just has more of a ring to it, don't you think?
In front of me, spread out across the train carriage, was a group of strange-looking people. A girl with pink hair, some guy in a wolf costume, a guy in a weird beanie staring intensely at me. Wait, what the hell? Are these creepy people really attending the same academy as me? Apathetic to my situation, the train continued from its halt. Oh, looks like I'm stuck here for now. Guess I should find somewhere to sit.
Hey, you! New guy! Over here!
Hey, can you hear me? Ooh, I like that's doing the Danganronpa thing where it tells you what music is playing. It's a small thing, but it feels the humanity's best and brightest. That's nice. I seem to caught the attention of one of the other passengers. What do you want?
What if...
Cool, so I was wondering something. Whatever it is, I'm sure you can ask an employee. I'm honestly not in the mood. Sure. Frowning, dropping his head, he walked away. Excuse me, you don't happen to know where the final stop is, do you? Girl's voice chimed in. Sheesh, can people just leave me alone for 5 minutes? Not a clue, but you could try looking for... The words got caught in my throat when I turned to look at her. This woman had to be twice my size. Something wrong? Don't fret, doll. And I'll just see who else is around. With a small wave, she walked away. People here just keep getting weirder and weirder. I really hope none of them are in my class. Not wanting to be bothered any further, I quickly found myself a seat by the window. Should be interesting experiencing through the shoes of the ultimate debater here. I know V3 is a bit of a contested sequel among the fan base, but I do like how it had you playing as an actual ultimate for it. As much as I like the first two games, I do feel that having the character the closest to an everyman was to its detriment, for blunt. Again, not that it's a deal breaker or anything, just I do think it's nice being an actual ultimate among the ultimates there. The situation was nothing like I expected, but at least the view from the train's nice. Mountains framed by a deep blue sky, crystal clear rivers that sparkled like jewels in the sunlight. It couldn't be a more radical departure from home. Scenery continued to pass, flying by with it. Chatter from the others on the train eventually softened, leaving just me and the rolling mountains. Sniff, snip. Nearby, a woman in professional attire turned her nose up to the air and started sniffing. After a moment, the expression on her face turned stone cold.
Something is wrong.
The air doesn't smell right. Huh? The air? Hey, I smell something too.
Excuse me.
Could you describe it? Kinda chemical-y. Almost like it's coming from... Shit. It's one of those, doesn't this smell like chloroform to you situations, isn't it?
What about...
That bag. You pointed to a travel bag on the opposite end of the car. Oh shoot, you mean this one next to me? I don't smell anything funky. Well, it's probably because of the helmet, I guess. Isn't that your bag? Nope, it was already here when I got on the train. That's weird. It has no name tag or anything on it. After inspecting the outside of the bag, he began fiddling with the lock. Pop.
Great!
Oh, he got open. That wasn't the lock.
Huh?
Oh, are you okay? Yeah, bro, I'm all good. I just feel kinda...
Christ almighty!
Shit.
Did you just pass out? From the same end of the car, the guy had been staring at me earlier. Not feeling so good either.
Hang on.
What did he say? Good night. What the? People are dropping like flies. Crap. Someone get help.
For real?
Let me try to alert the conductor, whatever. She ran over the door that connected the adjacent car. Rattle, rattle.
Oh, crud.
It's not opening up. Why isn't it opening? Probably because this so-called accident is happening precisely according to plan.
Stand back.
I want to try my hand at it. Can you step aside for a sec? Yanked at the door, but rattle, rattle. Damn it, the car's locked up tight as a prison. Huh? But I left to take a piss like an hour ago. Let me try something else. The big man rolled his shoulders and threw himself against the door with all his might. He groaned and stepped back, revealing he hadn't even left a mark on the door. What? That did nothing? There's another boy's fallen. A girl too? Why is everyone passing out? Shit, maybe it's got something to do with the bag. The The air around me has grown thick with the strange, pungent smell. I could taste it, feel it sting my eyes. Oh, no, 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 don't! A futile plea left my lips. I felt my strength trail away with it. The world flickered around me, and then... there was nothingness. I have achieved a true Buddhism. Vows woven by stitches and needles. Brr. Huh? What is that humming noise? It sounded almost like an air conditioner. But if it's an air conditioner, why am I so warm? I weakly opened my eyes. Above me was a concrete ceiling. Concrete ceiling? Something tells me trains typically don't come with those as standard. My body's so heavy, but I had to get on my feet. I had to see where I was. Huh. It's a girl. Could it be that she's... no, she's still breathing. She's just asleep, so just like I was. Kneeling down to her level, I reach out my hand to shake her. Hey, can you hear me? No response. Bringing my face closer as I repeated the question. Hey, can you hear me? Why wasn't she waking up? Damn, do I actually have to... Hey! Her eyes snapped open, causing me to jump back.
Hello.
I was just testing you. Testing? Me? To see what you would do. It's not every day you find a body on the floor.
That's...
Oh, so you were awake that whole
Correct.
time? I woke up before you, yes. And she just let me sleep? Hey, come on. It's perfectly reasonable to let someone get a sleep in a little more. Sometimes you just need that extra rest.
Anyways,
How long was I out
Not
for?
sure.
I don't know. I didn't wake up that long ago. When I first came to, I was also startled to see a stranger.
You see?
One can never sense of a friend or foe.
Hmm.
Oh, this is almost starting to feel like opening to the first Zero Escape game. Which is why I need to see for myself how much I could trust you. By lying on the floor and making yourself vulnerable. Much as I hate to say it, I can kind of see where the logic is with that. Hopefully she had a contingency plan if things went south, at least. But then again, I guess, she had to, or else she wouldn't have risked it. She makes no sense. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do think that's a bit of an extreme way to do it, but I guess, can't argue with the results. An excuse to break off the conversation, I started to look around the room. It was definitely some kind of boiler room, but there didn't seem to be a light switch anywhere. The only light came from a vent set in the far back of the room. Looking at my close surroundings, I was standing on a platform with stairs that led down the rest of the room. Lower floor was mildly flooded. I'd say the water reached a little above my ankles. It's a place that had clearly been abandoned for a long time. Even with all the strange things around me, my gaze kept returning to this girl. There was something about her that seemed almost familiar. She was with the train on us, right? Wait, that's it. Yeah, she was on the train I boarded. Yeah, she wasn't one of the characters we focused on, but she was in the background. Hey, we've met before. On that train? Yeah. Yeah, things turned upside down not long after you arrived. A strange smell came from a travel bag, and then everything turned black. Right, just what the hell was
Listen
that?
to me.
I think it was a chemical agent. The bag must have been equipped with a gas bomb or something. Someone clearly wanted to knock us out. Sounds like she's been thinking hard about it. Maybe that's why it took her so long to wake me up. Oh yeah. Also, like, it's possible to tell who can be trusted, so it makes sense to be very careful. But it looks like these two are going to be stuck together for now, so we're going to have to work together. Oops.
I see.
Alright, I was thinking the same, but whose bag was it and why they want us to knock us out? And why aren't we on the train anymore? Where even are
Look
we?
at this.
Considering our surroundings, some sort of boiler room, I suppose? As she raised a hand to put up her glasses, something large and metallic on her wrist caught my eye. It looked vaguely like a watch?
Eh?
Hey, what's in her hand? Wait, this is gonna become Zero Escape. That's gonna have a number on it. Okay, don't worry, I still remember how digital roots work. We can work through this.
Well,
You tell me, it appears you have one as
Huh?
well. With those words, I
What
looked at
the-
my hand. What the? Sure enough, I was wearing the same device. It had been fitted tightly around my wrist, but felt like I was wearing nothing at
Damn it.
all. Don't make me do that Simpsons reference. This is not the time. Hey, I'm not wearing this. Hey, I'm not wearing this. As I grabbed a hold of the device and pulled, a tiny surge of electricity ran through my wrist.
how
Ah!
humiliating.
Sorry, I should have warned you. If you try taking it off, it shocks you. Thanks for the heads up. Yeah, a little late. Think, shit, what's really going on here? Why am I wearing this weird shock collar? Who put this on
Look.
me? You can touch though. See, like this. You tap the face of the device, it lit up and displayed a holographic image. Ooh, fancy. Oh, it's like a watch.
Correct.
It's just projecting a blank screen for some reason.
So,
Either way, it seems we're stuck with this device for the time being. Well, at least it's a cool device. I mean, I always like those sci-fi ones where they have the computers just float, computer images floating around, and you use your hand to push it to and fro. They've been in Marvel movies, but I remember they were in there a while before that. Like, I think Minority Report had it. Hopefully the mental image I'm trying to deliver is working.
moving on.
While you're standing there, the least you can do is give me your name. We didn't have much of a meeting on the train anyway. Damon Maitsu, ultimate debater. I'm a student at Eden's Garden Academy.
Interesting.
Interesting. What is?
Hmm?
Thank you for telling me more than I asked
As
for.
for myself, you may call me Eva Tsunaka.
It's nice to meet you. I'm sure it is. Pain from the shock was finally subsiding. It's as good as any to get a better grasp of this room. I think Eva does have a good point. You don't want to give away too much information at once. I mean, once they confirm their surroundings and what's going on, it can be fine to start discussing those things. But again, we don't know if neither of them can confirm that the other is involved or not with what just happened. How to get a better grasp of this room. Maybe there's something here that can explain the flooding, or even better, that annoying mechanical noise. Welcome to Project Eden's Garden. A lot's happened already. I'm sure you're eager to investigate, but there's some things you should get acquainted with first. First of all, to access the trinket, or as Damon so colloquially put it, neat. Not often you see a $5 word like that. The watch. Simply press F1. View past dialogue, press F2. To access observation mode, press Enter. Enter a key again to and WASD to pan across the room. If you ever need to revisit, check out the control panel. It's just one F3 key away. That's for now. Go forth and explore. Okay, so this just gives me the controls real quick. Nothing here at all. So all I can do for now is change the settings. Boxes. There might be something useful in this pile of dusty boxes. Light bulbs, duct tape, bunch of screws. Nope, nothing but junk. Or at least we're confirming this is indeed a storage room of some sort. Or a boiler. Camera. Eh? Staring at me from the corner of the room was an expensive-looking security camera. Has this been recently installed? It seems better suited to a vault than a crappy boiler room.
Interesting.
You noticed the camera too,
Yeah.
eh? Yeah, it's really out of place here. Think someone's watching us through it? Doesn't look like it's turned on, so I doubt it. See, perhaps that's for the best. What do you mean? If someone's watching us, it's possible they're the same person who put these wrist straps on us. Which makes a decent point, that's for sure. A shame we're not using code names, but it does make sense. Even just the first names would probably have worked, but again, I'm probably being a bit more paranoid than I need to be.
Hello.
What is it? Nothing. I guess that is true. We don't have too much to talk about at the moment. The generator is likely what's making the noise, then. There's a generator under the vent. Is that what's making the mechanical noise? Seeing in the water puts me a bit on edge. I was thinking of checking out the window above it, but now I'm not so sure. Well, that seems to be it. The room's a bit too run down for me to investigate anything. I did say it's lightly flooded, and I could see it when the room opened up a bit, so it's probably best to be very careful, since a generator and water is usually not going to mix well. Or would that be mixing too well, technically? I seem to be... Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Eva approach a pile of boxes and fish out a light bulb. Then, without hesitation, plop, chucked in the water. What are you doing? All of a sudden, she jumped off the platform into the water.
hell?
Seriously, what the hell are you doing?
Can't you see?
Exploring. You're not worried about the generator?
Right.
Look at the light bulb I threw in the water. Notice how it isn't flashing. That means the water isn't conductive. Alright, fair enough. I guess she's not worried about getting her shoes wet either. Well, to be fair, even if she was, we can't exactly... Well, I guess you could take them off first, but either way, we're gonna have to get a little soggy to get through this. Also, is that a raven pin or some other bird? Alright, give me a second. I took off my socks, shoes, and quickly rolled up my pants. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Trying to hide my discomfort behind a cool face, I descended the stairs in the murky water. Mechanical noise was even louder now. Sounded like it was coming from the direction of the vent.
I see.
Yep, it definitely must be the
Damn.
generator. We're lucky the water isn't conductive. Those exposed wires could have been bad news otherwise.
Interesting.
Such a small generator sounds like it's running a lot of power. It's surprising how this noise alone wasn't enough to wake us up. Whatever knocked us out on the train must have been pretty strong. Yeah, I guess it was one of those "does this smell like chloroform to you" situations. Anyway, that explains the whirring noise. I wonder where all the power's going to. Hop on the wall was a vent. What could be on the other side? You want to go through that?
Listen
Yeah,
to
I
me.
do. Alright, I have an idea, but it'll take some
Eh?
physical effort.
Well,
Like what? Like getting on my shoulders.
Seriously?
I'm not doing that. If you get on my shoulders, it will give you a boost and you can look through that window.
Fair.
Alright, fair, but shouldn't I be the one giving you a boost? I don't think you can handle it. Saying that, she stooped in front of the generator and motioned for me
I'm
to come over.
talking.
Make sure to tuck your feet behind my neck. I waded on over and awkwardly positioned myself on her shoulders. I guess she must be stronger than she
Sure
looks.
you can do this.
Or perhaps Damon isn't that strong and he's just hiding it behind the cool facade. I suppose Ultimate Debater doesn't exactly require you to be swole. You can do this?
I'm fine. Just look through the window already.
All right.
Well, do you see anything? Yeah, another vent and a room just beyond it. I can't see what's in the room, though both of the vents are in the way. Taking a closer look at the boiler room vent, I noticed there were hinged bolts in the upper corners. Does this mean the vent could be opened? Wrapping my fingers around the grate in front of me, I pulled as hard as I could. Hey, I got it open. Can you see better now? Although the second vent still obstructed a lot of the room, I was able to make out the legs of tables and chairs. They're pretty fancy looking. It's the floor of some fancy room. We must be in a building with multiple levels. Weird this vent opens up to another room instead of the outside. Eh? Just beyond the chairs in the very corner of the room, something's peeking out. A person's legs? I felt my chest tighten. Is he also passed out? Hello, can you hear me? No response. Damn it, there's gotta be a way inside the room. Eva, can you let me down? Is someone in there? I think it's a guy. He's lying on the floor and I'm pretty sure he's passed out. He might know something we don't. If we're not in there when he wakes up, we might lose him.
So,
The room's on the level above ours, you said. Right, which means there must be stairs
Focus.
somewhere. I have to find them. Leave an area, press R. I'll confirm the choice with you, just in case you get second thoughts. You sure you want to leave? As soon as I was out of the water, I threw on my socks and shoes, and ran straight to the door. I guess the door must have been behind us that entire time. Upon leaving the room, I was greeted with an equally derelict hallway. Walls and floor were old, matted color with nothing else in them. No wall decor, windows, no life whatsoever. However, there was one thing that stood out. At the very end of the hallway was a corridor that took a sharp turn, as well as what appeared to be sunlight hitting the wall. Does that mean there's an exit right around the
hang
corner?
on.
Don't go running off without me. Huh?
Hmm.
I've already inspected the rooms in this hallway, so you can ignore them. Why didn't you do that?
See?
While you were asleep. You weren't waking up despite my best efforts, so I decided to investigate on my own. Hang on, wait, your best efforts?
So,
Poking you in the face, dragging you by the feet, even Bridal carried you at one point. Not sure I can believe that.
listen to me.
Well, she did just prove she can carry his whole weight on her own, so I guess that's entirely possible. Anyway, I haven't checked what's upstairs. I didn't walk too far from where you were
Come
lying.
again?
You didn't think to
No.
get help? You were obviously breathing. That didn't answer the question. You only started to wake up after I returned from my search. How does that get in the way of finding help? Unless she didn't want to leave me here alone. I can't figure her out at all.
Moving on.
This floor didn't turn up anything useful, by the way. The rooms were just a bunch of storage closets, completely dilapidated, filled with random things.
That's...
That was the case for every
It's
room,
the
huh?
truth.
If you don't believe me, you can check for yourself. As my great-grandmother's brother's friend's motivational calendar once said, you can't progress if you don't have the will to move. Last but not least, proceed with caution. You never know what could be hiding around the corner. Oh my. Now, I was about to say, the fact it sprints could be interesting, but then I remembered, wait, the original Danganronpa games also had a fast moving option.
It's the truth.
If you don't believe me, you can check them for yourself. The room was almost identical to what Eva had described earlier. There was no real organization or meaning to anything, it was just filled with completely random crap. What did I tell you? It's definitely a messy place, that's for sure. Yes, let's move on now. I should probably listen to her, there's no reason for me to come in, especially when we might have found help. Yeah, it won't even let me inspect the camera. Okay, I should probably speak with her before leaving.
How humiliating.
Told you so. Caution.
Damn.
This room looks just like the
Correct.
last one. Told you so.
Damn.
Correct.
Won't even let me investigate the wall, huh? Alright. Wait, what? Oh. Oh, there's a staircase up. So it wasn't sunlight, it was the next room. The upper floor was a lot better condition than the one below, but that's not saying much. Water stains covered some parts of the walls and ceiling. I could only guess a pipe broke and started leaking. There didn't seem to be any mold at the very least.
So,
The room with the unconscious man should be above and adjacent to the boiler room. That means, well, must be on the other side of this hallway,
Yeah.
correct? Yeah, given we walked away from the boiler room to get here.
mhm.
Alright, let's investigate.
No.
This is definitely not the room with the man. It's
Right.
too close to the stairs. Rattle, rattle. It's locked. This is definitely not the right way. And I'm pretty sure this is the exit for this particular area, so... Bunny. Owl, I guess? These seem to be standard paintings, but with an animal replacing them. That's a bird. What type of bird? You got me. Although... Strange painting. This must be edgy modern art or something. Hello, Rising. Welcome to the stream. Fancy woman wearing a crow mask. Not something you see every day. Oh, so I can investigate all these. Let me see if it'll let me. Whatever this mask is supposed to resemble, it's a freaky looking one. Sheesh, owls always gave me the creeps. Something tells me that our ultimate debater here has seen The Secret of Nim, in which case, yes, owls will scare the piss out of you. Or I guess if you've seen Rock-a-Doodle, that also had some very creepy owls. Although this one... Huh, I've seen this painting before. Well, the version without the mask. It was ages ago during middle school. I think my class visited a really fancy museum. All this time I've been remembering the man's a jester. He doesn't have the right doesn't even have the right clothes. Been a while since... Oh, that's alright. Since I do whatever, or I understand that some content's going to appeal more than others, or maybe we've even got stuff to do. That's why I try to say to stop by whenever you feel like it. I'm not sure if this is the right way first. Let's take a look around here then. Playing a lot of co-op whenever you see your tab. Yeah, that's because I have it scheduled each week. At least once each week. Although the past couple weeks we've had enough free time that we've been able to do a bit more of it. We're about finishing soon though, so we'll be moving on to another game for the joint streams. Which one I'm not 100% sure, so still thinking about that. It was a portrait of a girl dressed in a creepy mask. Looking at it for too long is gonna freak me out. Like hell, I'm going back down there. Rattle, rattle. It's locked. Don't worry about that later. We need to find the room the man's in. What if this is it? You think we're above and adjacent to the boiler room? No, I don't. Move on. Has to be it. This must be the room. Taking a deep breath, I pushed open the large doors. Oh, a Danganronpa fangame. It seemed like a legitimate one. Yeah, this one's, it's been around a little while, and it's been getting a good amount of traction. Right now, it's just the prologue out, but I figure, hey, might as well keep the mystery theme going, since I've been doing a bunch of those lately. Plus, Danganronpa was one of the Danganronpa games, 1, 2, and V3 were some of the earliest games I streamed on the channel, so pretty happy to have another chance to go through it. Wow, this is a pretty stylish looking place. It's a lot better maintained than the rest of the building. Okay, the vent should probably... Hi-ya! Huh? Before I had a chance to react, the wind drove her fist directly to the side of my head. Ow! Who the hell are you? What the? Who the hell are you? Shoot, why'd you just hit me? I'm not gonna embrace a stranger with open fucking arms. You could have been murderer. So your instinct is to attack everything you see. Hey, I've already spared one guy in a suit. I'm not letting my guard down a second time. The guy in a suit. Is that him?
Hello.
Oh, hello. This guy, the outfit he's wearing. We've met before, haven't we? I was about to say, I recall seeing your faces on the train. Yeah, he was someone who actually spoke. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the two of you were standing right next to each other. You guys know each other? Not at all. We only formally met a few minutes ago. Oh.
Anyways,
You were still knocked out by the sleeping gas stuff, right? Don't remind me.
come again?
What? Yeah, that's right, I said it. You're a bean, just like the loser next to me. I disagree, but we should focus on what happened on the train first. I don't know what the fuck happened, but... Okay, something tells me they're going with the whole killer rabbit aesthetic with her. 1 second I was on the train, next I'm surrounded by total darkness. The place was like solitary confinement chamber. I thought I was gonna suffocate in there. What are you talking about? See that pantry over there? Yeah. Turns out the door was unlocked. You were inside. He to the pantry? When she kicked open the door, I nearly jumped out of my skin. What the hell were you doing while she was in there? Waking up, mostly. Isn't it unfair? I got stuffed in some tiny pantry while this guy had the entire floor to himself. Whoever's responsible for this must have been jealous of my talent. Don't believe how many jealous bastards turn violent in the industry? What's with the dumb face? You know who I am, right? Was I supposed to? Just uncultured
My name's
swine.
Grace Madison, ultimate golfer. Don't forget it, soybean.
Grace Madison, the ultimate golfer.
I see.
The ultimate golfer, of course. Since the two of you are on that train, that means you're ultimates as well. What about you? Can you tell me your ultimate talent?
I'm Wolfgang Akere, the ultimate lawyer. Here's my card.
Huh. Lawyering is pretty adjacent to... Actually, not adjacent, it straight up uses debating, so... That's something good to have on our side. A lawyer, it's way better than being a golfer, but for such a young-looking guy, I didn't expect him to have talent like that. I guess he's set up to be the next Phoenix Wright. His age must be part of what makes him an ultimate. We should not let him die. Yeah, something tells me when we get out of here we're gonna need a good lawyer, so having the ultimate lawyer would definitely make things a lot easier on us.
Pardon me.
You look confused. Oh, I'm not confused. I look too young. Is that what you think?
I understand.
I get it a lot. Even Miss Madison says it.
Whatever you say.
Because it's true. Well, don't you think the same could be said for yourself? It's not wise. I'm not wise in the way of sports, but I always had the impression golf was an old man's business. Not that young women shouldn't take the reins. The sport's probably in need of some revival. It's a tough industry, but that's because you gotta fight for recognition. Not sit around for 7 years and do F all. Yeah, I hope not, but we'll see how it goes. The one thing that is a bit tricky with Danganronpa is there's unfortunately only so much development you can do for anyone who's first on the chopping block, so to speak. It is nice how they introduce all the characters like this so we can get attached to some degree, but once we start getting free time, that's when the good stuff's gonna begin, and... Well, there's a reason a handful of characters in the first game will only have like 2 events before it maxes out and says, okay, you can now go with someone else. Sounds like an average high schooler now that I think about it. Hey, how old are you when you started college?
Thank you.
That's personal information I don't intend to disclose. You're a piece of work, aren't you? What happened is talking about the train. These guys seriously have their priorities skewed.
So,
So you have them too? Huh?
look.
We're all wearing the same wrist wraps. Really? You were busy talking, so I figured you wouldn't notice unless I pointed out. Wrist strap, you say? These fuckers are more like mini shock
By the
collars.
way,
Those aren't mutually exclusive. I heard you the first
Well,
time. So you tried taking off,
yes.
did you? Yep, same with you. Actually, it was me who tried taking off. Stupid thing zapped me when I did.
see.
I suspected it wasn't unique to Miss Madison, though I hadn't tried removing the strap myself.
Strange.
Equipping everyone with a strap that shocks them. What could justify doing something like that? Well, what's the purpose behind these straps?
Soybean.
Are you daft? It's to shock us. Well, it could also be used to display numbers so that we can use the digital route to solve puzzles. Thing is, we seem to receive a shock if we try to remove
Could
it.
this be?
So, why aren't we allowed to remove these wrist straps? And that is a very Ace Attorney-esque pose, and I imagine that is absolutely no coincidence. One moment, let me hydrate real quick. My throat's getting a little dry. Objection. Yep, that's absolutely an objection pose. Danganronpa, the proper Danganronpa series always wore its references and influences on its sleeves, so I genuinely don't mind if they do it here. As far as I'm concerned, it's absolutely on brand. Oh, he's even got a cute lamb as his lawyer pin. That's adorable. What I want to know is, who even put these things on us? The answer to those questions might be something we have to figure out ourselves. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. For me to be abducted and taken somewhere I don't know, surrounded by a bunch of strangers, forced to figure out why, doesn't make any sense, so why's happening?
Hello.
Hello there.
Hello?
Are you talking to me?
No.
No, look behind you. It's going to be something... Huh? Confused, I turn around and see what captures everyone's attention. Oh, I thought it was going to be something to jump scare me, but no. For a second I thought I was seeing things. Peeking at us from the corridor was a small girl. Who are you? What the? Is that a fucking gremlin?
Miss Madison!
You'll scare her if you shout like that. The girl left her position in the corridor and slid into the room. Now I could see for certain she was a kid. What the hell? Why was there a kid here? I am not a gremlin. Your mother never teach you manners. It's rude to backtalk strangers you haven't met. No way, the gremlin can talk? I just told you I'm not a gremlin. She's too uptight. If we must make comparisons, I'd rather you liken me to something more elegant. For example, like Kappa. That's not much better. I was about to say, aren't Kappas supposed to be kind of... a little gross?
Be careful.
Please be careful with what you say to her. This girl seems awfully young.
Can't you see?
Doesn't seem young. She is young. What's going on here? Why is there a child wandering around? You know, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure I also saw you on the train. Oh yeah, we never spoke. She never spoke up, but she was in the background artwork. You were so hidden behind people. You were hidden behind some other people, so you were pretty hard to see. I assumed you were sitting down or something. I didn't even cross my mind that you might have been an actual kid. Is there an ultimate chef cook here? It's not impossible, but they had one of those in the second game. And in general sense, I imagine they would try and avoid doubling up on ultimates. Personally, I'm not too bothered if they use the same ultimate multiple times. As long as they make the characters interesting, of course. I don't mind if they do double up like that, but I'm well aware that not everyone likes that. They'd rather a different ultimate each and every time. Akira must live. I agree. Still, what the hell is he even doing on a train? That's what I'm wondering. A kid's got no business with people like us. I do not appreciate your misguided comments about my age. I'm a professional, just like the rest of you. You mean you're an ultimate?
Is that really true?
Didn't think qualify as ultimates.
I am an ultimate.
Must I keep myself? I'm a not child, I'm a professional. I'd say that pretty much everyone here is still pretty young in general. I mean, we even just got over how the lawyer was, oddly young for someone who graduated law school, but I suppose that also might be me talking since I'm I'm in my mid-30s. So I probably have a slightly different perspective than the people here.
Jeez.
Well, what is it so good at? So you desire to know my talent, do you? Normally I'd decline further conversation with rude people like you, but given our circumstances, I should be sanguine on the matter.
I am Toshiko Kayura, the ultimate matchmaker. Nice to meet you, I suppose.
I know what happened last time an ultimate ranking died. Danganronpa 1. Yeah. The Danganronpa 1 opening case was definitely a pretty good one to open up on. Although granted, that game also had a demo that had a completely different case from the final game, so they could do something similar here. But it's also a lot of work to make a completely unrelated case. And fan games are kind of a pain in the ass to make, so as dedicated as these people are, they should probably... Yeah, a lot of people that I really liked did not make it to see the end credits of that game, I will say that much. Ultimate matchmaker, huh? That means she's good at hooking people up with their ideal partners?
That's...
A matchmaker, aren't you a bit young for something like that?
Grip.
Gremlin's obviously lying about having a talent. I bet it snuck its way on the train because it saw the commotion. Bad ultimate talent. Given how esoteric some of the talents are here... Oh, bad talent for me, though. Oh, maybe you should try asking for advice, maybe... maybe I will, but only if she makes it to the end. There have been younger victims in the series, so do be very careful about who is not around to the end credits. Although I will say Grace is being rather assholic about the whole thing. Now a little bastard stuck with us.
Look at what you've done.
Made her upset. Upset?
Of course not.
I know better than take a gremlin seriously. Oh, I don't think I can use my own insult against me.
Miss Madison.
Grace. What?
Moving on.
So if I have things right, all 5 of us were on the train. Why she needs to go first? I could go either way on that. Generally, when characters are an asshole like that, they usually have a backstory to explain how that happened, especially with characters as fleshed out as ones in this kind of series. But at the same time, there's a reason horror films like to have one character as the established stereotypical asshole who immediately dies to establish, yeah, the villain actually is going to kill people. So who knows? What about the other people aboard? Do you think they've been kidnapped as well? That is correct. Apart from us, there are 11 other people. 11, counting us that makes 16.
Correct.
That's the same number of people who are on the train.
Right.
I've become well acquainted with them.
Healthy.
The only person I've been avoiding is this frustrating boy I woke up with. You won't believe his manners. And she also woke up with another person. I'm starting to see a pattern here. Alright, so 16 people, each of whom was paired up. And they seem to be ones that the matchmaker thinks aren't even good pairings, so that makes it even worse. As does everyone else.
Suppose.
Speaking of, would you like to meet the others? I think they should know about you four.
Very well.
That'd be helpful, yes. Okay, good. We can expedite the process and get to the good part where we meet everyone. Very well, I should serve as your guide as we embark on this new journey.
Take it seriously.
You don't sound so happy about this. This is a kidnapping, not a college orientation. Then again, I guess it's not like I would go to most orientations willingly. Maybe these two events aren't that different after all. I suppose a college orientation was a bit boring, even when I went back to it a little while ago to finish my degree.
Well,
Where are the others right now? Obviously, they're outside this building. That said, I never thought it was that bad, so I guess Damon here might straight up have no pay. There's an exit not too far from here. Follow me.
The best.
She seems to know more than us. Wouldn't it hurt to entertain her? So this thing has its display outside this building, so even more people this place than we've already seen. At least this one's not a school setting. Could use a change once in a while. Don't mind when they change things up here, like how the second Island. I mean, there was technically a school area within it, but it was just one of many areas in there. Oh. Oh, yeah, it looks like I'm getting some frame drops. Hold on, let me, do something to try and fix that. Alright, let's see if that works it a bit better. Let me check the frame drops here. A bit less. Let me try something else here. This might help a bit. Alright, is working a bit better. Still getting a bunch of frame rate drops. Let me try this then. Let me try looking at it on my end. And I'm getting a bit of lag. Sorry about that. I'll see if I can do something else to try and fix it. Bit better? No, it's not. Alright, let me try something else here. It says outside this building. There's even more. Oh, so there's an outside this building as well. Interesting. A little better now. Weird. Let me sip my drink while I try something else. One moment, please. Alright. I tried something else here, so I'm gonna see if it stabilizes in a minute. Are there other buildings just like this one? How big is this area exploring? Standing here won't give me an answer. I should find the exit already. More strange paintings? The woman's mask bore the unmistakable nose and, well, lack of a giraffe. No, yeah, it looks more like a skull. Sofa? I mean, sofa? It's a comfy looking sofa. If I sit down, I might not be able to get back up, so I should probably refrain for now. Like the rest, the kitchen looked quite nice. It was clean and fully equipped with stock with all kinds of food. The question is, who is this kitchen for? It can't be right. Strange painting. Painting I recognize. I'm pretty sure my little team did research for it in a debate. Can't be wrong. Ah, that's alright. Yeah, I understand. Hope you. Thanks for stopping. Whatever we were trying to argue, I scrubbed it from my memory. Next debate, somehow. One thing's for sure, the painting wear a mask. Liquid she's wearing, it definitely wasn't blood. Alright, so they're making more additions and an animal-themed mask of nightmares. Is this supposed to be a hyena? The ears are really big, though. Maybe it's just a wild dog? Whatever, I'm wasting my time here. That definitely is a bit of a creepy smile, yeah. Here's less of a creepy one. Forget about the mask. What's that weasel-looking thing? It could be a stoat or martin, I suppose, but I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head. Entry. This was where the loud golfer girl Grace woke up. It would have been funnier if she was shoved in the fridge instead. That is a dark joke for the game to be making. For the record, I'm pretty sure it's referring to someone being stuffed in the fridge, which is a reference to an old comic. Hold on. Actually, let me do this. Here we go, stuffed in the fridge. Yeah, referencing a Green Lantern in a comic where the protagonist's girlfriend was stuffed in a fridge for him to find, which was done for no other reason than to motivate the protagonist. So yeah, it's kind of a dark joke to be making. But again, it's on point, so can't fault it. And it looks like the frame rate's stabilized, so that's good to see. If it happens again, please let me know. I can't help but notice, though, the left and right side of the ones are basically more creepy or dead-looking ones of the more... Well, no, because that's a giraffe, and the other one's a deer. Some of the paintings are definitely more Uncanny Valley, for sure. Those are good. Hello, Wolf. Car.
Trust in the process.
Miss Kayura seems well acquainted with the layout of this building. We should follow her directions for now. See you later, right? Oh, I already said. I've been played.
Hello.
Hello. Toshiko isn't happy you fell behind. I thought you guys would leave
Get
without
to the
me.
point.
The excuses for Toshiko, I don't really care. Okay.
Soybean.
About time you arrived. Could you not call me that? Looks like she's got a nickname one. She's the gremlin, I'm the soybean, and I don't know about the other two. You're late. Waiting? Only because the gremlin insisted. As you fell behind until she said something.
Unfortunately.
I'm ashamed to say this.
Well.
By the way, what are the others doing right now?
Oh,
Going somewhere else. Something else, probably. I'm very sure yourself.
healthy.
They had no nerve to tell me to stay put when I inspected the area. If they don't want me exploring, I suppose I'll explore by myself. Alright, sounds like she just wanted to show
Are
off.
you done yet?
What do you care about that? You guys here now, let's go already. Yeah, and the others will realize their foolishness. On the doors, the little girl turned to face the door, but instead of pushing it open, she reached for the lock I hadn't even noticed before. The door opened with a long little creak, and we finally saw what was waiting outside. Gazebo. Interesting. Standing before us, bathing in sunlight, was a massive Roman-esque courtyard. Finally, some sunlight. Courtyard in the hedges. The hedges are tall. What if we look for a rope? Hey, these dresses we're wearing will probably shock us. Right. Go on, climb the hedge. What the?
No.
Unfortunately, it's pointless to climb the hedges. What do you know? If you take a close sky? Oh, it's artificial, isn't it? Yes, don't you see anything strange? Anything strange? No, there's nothing standing. Wait, what? As my eyes tried to adjust to the glare of the sun, I noticed the shape of the clouds were not normal at all. No, it's almost as if they were concave. Eyes curving
How can
inwards.
this be?
Are we looking at a
Come
hologram?
on.
Guys, no way. That'd have to be a 360-degree projection or something. The sky we're looking at is actually a video panorama. It sounded completely ridiculous when said out loud, but at the same time it made too much sense. If this is a 360-degree projection, wouldn't that mean we're inside a sort of dome? Such is the truth I've long since recognized.
Come on,
That's...
Gross.
Wait, you knew the sky was fake? You're great outdoors. It was for dramatic effect. In truth, I haven't seen natural sunlight since the moment I woke up here.
Cause for concern.
No sunlight. You really need windows in the
No.
building? No, none at all. No windows means no oxygen. We might be suffocating as we speak. We survived this long. I think we'll be okay. You're acting way too nonchalant. Doesn't this place bother you at all? Home with a fake sky. That's like something out of a movie.
So,
Or a space... Yeah, or a TV show with a space station. Maybe whoever brought us here wanted us to recreate the feeling of outside in lieu of actually letting us outside. Sure, if you want to make broad
you
assumptions.
see?
In a situation like this, making assumptions is all you can really do.
Fair.
Whether or not the sky is truly a projection, it's not something we can do much about. For now, we should remain focused on the meeting the other students. Sniff, huh? Above the inane clatter, I hear a quiet, high-pitched noise, the sound of Mouse's squeak. It was so unlike the current conversation, it automatically stood out. Can you guys stop for a second? Is there a problem? Hear that?
Hey?
Hear what? It almost sounds like whimpering.
Strike me pink. Oi,
Wait.
you.
Sniff. Oh, interesting. I could actually use the recap. First of all, I do like that they use the portraits for the recap. That's a pretty neat effect. And it's also neat I can identify someone a little early with the help of that. Wait, I just heard it. Oi, I was crying. Quit hiding and
Aw.
come to us. Do ignore the shrew. Her bark is worse than her bite. Who are you calling a shrew? The crying seems to have stopped, but whoever it is refused to come out. We just leave them be. If they don't want help, it's not our issue.
Goodness.
Don't be so heartless. This could be someone in
Be
need.
careful.
Touch the girl that's crying. Please excuse my friend here. None of us here are here to hurt you. I think you should come out. Hiding will only make you more
You
scared.
think?
Do you really think that's gonna convince them?
Eh?
Eh? Hello, I wasn't.
Hello.
How about you tell us your name first?
Eloise Toner. I'm the ultimate fencer. It's really nice to meet you all, even if it doesn't seem like it.
Eloise, ultimate fencer. So she's good at sword fighting. Good to know if we ever get in a fight, she'll be good to help.
Strange.
That's strange. Someone who's prolific at fighting should have a reason to hide from people.
Not...
Actually, it doesn't focus as much on courage as people think. The key to fencing is the ability to predict your opponent's moves along with having the agility to avoid them. Acting brash may get you the first move, but it's a steady, analytical mind that secures the win. Huh, that's actually kind of impressive. Oh, thank you. I get really excited when it comes to the subject, so I can't help but gush.
Listen to me.
Well, it's good to be passionate about the things you like, but I have to ask, why were you hiding from us? She stood there quietly deep in thought. When I woke up, I had no idea where I was or why I was here.
Kind of like...
There were several strangers around me, and they were all so panicked as well. I felt like a mouse caught in a trap. Everything around me was so suffocating. That's why I ran away immediately. I know exactly what that's like. I know some who... well, just being in crowds can agitate them or drain them of energy, even if they're not directly interacting with people, so I can definitely empathize. I really don't like it when people see me like that. I can't even call my mom. My phone wasn't on me when I came
I
to.
understand.
If it's any reassurance, it seems my friends and I are in the same situation.
Seriously?
That's probably the last thing she wants to hear. Also, since when are we friends?
Hello?
Was there anyone with you when you woke up? Well, yes, but I didn't get to talk to them before I went into flight mode. Sorry. So this girl's just as clueless as us, and she also passed out on that train. Damn, what the hell's going on here? Were you the only people in the building, by the way? Miss Kayura is currently introducing us to everyone else. Would you like to join?
Maybe...
I think I want to stay where I am. Very well. When I meet with the others, I'll tell them to gather here. That way you won't be alone. Also, if everyone's together, we can discuss our next course of action. Yeah, I'll wait here if it makes things easier for
Many
everyone.
thanks.
Many thanks, Miss Tollner. Compared to before, she looks a lot more calm. Wolfgang knows how to handle the situation pretty well, or maybe he just knows how to handle people in general. I guess you do need people skills if you want to be a good lawyer. You do, after all, have to convince a judge and jury. I guess that's admirable.
Strange.
While I agree that the sky is most likely a video projection, why would someone want to create a fake sky in the first place?
Curious.
Such a strange place, this courtyard. I'll stand guard while you find the others. Fake sky, huge dome. It's like something off the set of a reality show. I believe she's thinking of the Truman Show. It turns out we're being forced to take part in one. Think about a reality show. I seriously doubt that. Reality shows are pretty questionable ethics, but I've never heard of one kidnapping its contestants before. That's probably in reference to something else, but to avoid spoilers, we'll just say it's a reference to the Truman Show.
See?
Of the 11 students I mentioned before, 5 of them awoke in this courtyard. Also woke up here. That makes a group of 6. If everyone split into pairs, that would check out. Similar to you, the surrounding sky gave us hope of a world beyond the courtyard walls, but no sooner after we fell for the dome's illusion did the cracks begin to show. I've no doubt that was the intention of this place, inspiring hope purely to crush it. Clearly, we are witnessing the machinations of a truly dastardly villain. Her point could have been made with a lot fewer words. Yeah, there's someone here, but I wanted to see if I can interact with something first. The guy was leaning against the hedge with his hands in his pockets. Looks like he found some friends.
Indeed.
Why don't you say? He looked at us and waved. I resisted the urge to wave back. Have you no manners? Speak with them. Alright, my bad. Clearly amused, he stood up and faced us.
Don't worry about
Sorry
it.
about that, I didn't mean to act like a dick. Today's just been kind of all over the place. use I know.
I suppose.
Suppose we can forgive you if you give us your name. Easy enough.
Desmond Hall. They call me the ultimate marksman.
Okay, good. We've got both ranged combat and melee combat in our party. That should make things a lot easier if a fight breaks out. Marksman, that must mean you're really good at shooting stuff, right? That's right. I have a really good eye on my targets. Guns, bows, slingshots, you name it, I'll hit the bullseye with it. All those to ask. You haven't killed anyone. Whoa, never. I realize my talent may leave people on edge, but I only practice on stay outside my comfort zone. Believe me, I've never taken a human life. I see. Good to know. Such a serious question, he composed himself pretty quickly. Guess this guy knows how to keep us cool.
So...
I suppose you'd have to in order to calm yourself for firing. So where's your partner? We all had one, to my knowledge. Oh, you mean the pirate guy? He was... fine. Harmless for the most part. Just a little too extreme for me. In situations like this, I prefer to keep myself. I know it's less cooperative, you know. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Oi!
Wait just a second.
Right. You...
Say a pirate? Sounds dumb, I know. I wouldn't buy it either if I hadn't spoken to the guy myself. Wait, one freak you do on the train, right? The buff one with the dragon tattoo? Yeah, that's your man. Went through that door over there, so... Ah, I gotta see him. You have fun with that. Just saying, the guy's a little out there. By the way, Desmond, did you see the gray uniform over there? I told him I'm gonna bring everyone, and I think it's important we discuss the current situation. Could you give her some company while I'm gone? Oh, sure thing. Odd bunch. Good luck convincing them. You may act casual, but being the ultimate marksman must take a lot of diligence. Oh, and thinking on your feet. There's probably a lot to learn from someone like that. Everyone else must be in the building up ahead. Perhaps they're discussing something. Let's head over and fight, shall we? Ah, everyone here. Holy hell, is that a tree? That thing must be, I don't know, 60 feet tall or something. A sight to behold, is it not? Let's not get too excited, it's only a tree.
No.
Not even sure we can say
Could you
that.
explain?
Care to elaborate? I don't quite get what you mean. Eva bent down and crushed one of the fallen leaves in her hands. I didn't hear any crumbling or tearing.
Interesting.
This is a fake tree.
Impossible!
How could someone possibly manufacture a tree of that size? Easily? I mean, assuming it's plastic or something, that's... Yeah, you might require some special tools to make it, but that's something that can easily be made.
Look at this.
If it's real, explain why these leaves don't make any noise when I break them. That expression said it all. Why the hell is there a huge fake tree here?
Indeed.
I'd be hard-pressed to find a school with an installation like this. You'd be hard-pressed to find it anywhere. I feel like you'd only see this in a museum or
In
something.
any case,
This building certainly has a strange aesthetic. That's one way to put it. The tree was in the center of a large circular room. Surrounding were a bunch of people I recognized from the train. These must be the others Toshina was talking about. Counting the two we just met, this is everyone, right? Correct.
What's wrong?
Something wrong?
You see?
Everyone from our train car is here. Where are the other people who were on the train? That's a good point. There were other people, right? Of course, the Academy said they reserved the train for its students. Yeah, but did you actually see anyone? I never left our car, but I do know Miss Madison did. Oh, that's right. She said she had to go pee at one point, so she had to leave it.
I
Huh?
apologize.
You mentioned leaving the bathroom, remember? I have to take a piss an hour ago.
I see.
Oh, right. Passed a bunch of students on my way to the crapper. Didn't talk to them, though.
Strange.
Had to have heard the commotion in our car. Why didn't they help us? Maybe they were also knocked out?
Anywho,
Doubt it's something we can answer right now. Can I just introduce you to the others already? Yes, we should familiarize ourselves with the people who are currently here. Yeah, I guess that's the only thing we can do right now. Bro, this whole thing's pretty baffling. The other students on the train passed out. Where are they now? If they didn't pass out, why would not help us escape our car? Well, ours was locked. So this was the ultimate pirate guy, huh? Now the question is, does he go with naval piracy or internet piracy? Because you're right, kid. Of course I'm alright. You gave everyone a scare run away like that. I thought we could catch you, but... Unfortunate, the door comes equipped with a lock. Oh, so that's why we couldn't go through before. She locked it on the way there while she was looking around. However, it was all worth it. Look, these people I befriended during my exploration. Oh, credit where credit's due. You came back with plenty of spoils.
Oi, you.
Oh, I want to talk for a sec. Huh? You're a pirate, right? Shiver me timbers, ahoy matey, that kind of pirate, right?
Pirate?
Huh? I'm not a pirate, I'm a ship captain. There's a huge difference. Ship...
I'm talking.
You don't need to be so loud. She was just asking a question. Just a question. Ha. Guys like me, that pirate nonsense is a tired stereotype.
Watch
Pirates love stealing and causing trouble. We ship captains are nothing like those low lives.
Please.
If you're not a pirate, then explain those clothes. These look like the clothes of a pirate to you? Maybe not a real one, but an exaggerated stereotype, yes.
Please don't.
It's probably best you leave the man alone. I take he's dealt with our kind before.
My mistake.
I never like to soil the mood, but man can only stand so much. Sorry for losing my cool. Okay, whatever. You said you were a ship captain, right? He's acting weird, but I want to get more out of him. I never picture a ship captain receiving an invitation from the academy, especially not someone like this guy.
Right. Ha
I know the seas like the back of my hand, every river and waterway in the northern and southern waters.
ha!
I'm the king of the seas, hero of storm.
Hero of the storms. I am Jean de la Mer.
Sadly, the heroes of the storm is in maintenance mode, so he's probably going to be a little disappointed at the lack of updates. Ultimate ship captain. King of the seas, hero of storm, heroes of the storm. Do people actually call him that, or does he come up with those names himself?
Really true?
You know every river and waterway, is that truly, really true? Yep. Studied every map I possibly can. Of course, I haven't actually been everywhere. According to the stingy little thing called Border Patrol, that's known in some parts as trespassing. I may be king of the seas, but I'm not above the law. I suppose that's good enough. Either way, it's not like it matters much here. From the looks of it, we're nowhere near the ocean. Fortunately, life as a captain has accustomed me to the unexpected. You lads can continue to trust in me. I'll protect you as if you are my own crew.
Now.
Protect from what? Protect us from what? I guess from whoever put these wristwatches on us. Then again, there doesn't seem to be anyone else in this place apart from us. Guess that means our only obstacle is finding an escape. Not too big an ask, eh? All we need to do is find where we entered, and voila, sweet freedom. Such a simple conclusion. He sure was making a big deal out of it. I may interest you to know that people are gathering outside the building Miss Curry explored. We want everyone to be together so we can discuss what to do next. Would you like to join? Always good to keep people on the same wavelength. See you there, mate. That guy's a prick, not what I expected. Funny, he's every bit as dumb as his appearance. What was the Academy thinking, bringing someone like him? Tree. The more I look at this tree, the more confused I am. I'm gonna get a headache, I better stop. This is obviously a doorway to somewhere, but it's only gonna open when it feels like it, I guess. Alpha, Beta, Delta, Sigma, Y. No, Gamma. Yeah, I forgot Gamma's basically a Y. I was never in a college frat, not when I went the first time and not when I went back, so I only have these Greek letters memorized because I am a horrible, horrible nerd. And also I've taken math classes and those get used a lot there.
Golly!
Oh, what's this? What's this, more friends?
Stop.
Let's not go that far, I don't even know your name or tell
Wait
you.
just a sec.
Let me tell you.
Hi, my name is Ingrid Grimwall, and I'm the ultimate blacksmith.
At least we have someone who can forge weapons for the others if we need it. Real blacksmith, huh? Is there anything like how the movies depict it? Have you ever made swords out of molten metal? Not just swords, tools, armor, statues, you name it, I can forge it. It's never an easy undertaking, I'll admit. Sprained muscles are par for the course, but... Same way climbing a mountain's painstaking, but reaching the top delivers a high you can never forget. The struggle's all worth it for the outcome. No wonder she's built like an athlete. Her job sounds like non-stop high-intensity exercise. So, how has your kind not gone extinct?
Oh,
Extinct? Made redundant by technology.
can't you see?
Aren't there ways to make specialized weapons without overworking yourself?
I don't like to admit it.
Against modern machines, I'm not an equal match. Because I think I'm better than them. Yeah, it's a mass-produced material is a lot different from a specially crafted one. Even nowadays, there are still blacksmiths to go around. There's even some that run YouTube channels that matter, so yeah, the job is absolutely still around and going strong. Mass production does a lot to help keep up with the demand, but like she said, sometimes you need something very specific or specialized that you can't make with can't make with a machine. Those hunks of metal may look cool, but their creations lack the human touch. Gotta keep things natural, traditional. That's when truly amazing things
Now,
happen.
would you look at that?
My creation touches the heart. It's better than anything made by machines. Imperfections be damned.
My.
Ooh. Better than machines, huh? People have always told me my skills were impressive, but I've yet to be compared to a computer or something. Well, at least you're not the ultimate chess player, because the ultimate chess players have lost to AI before. How come Blacksmith can receive that sort of acclaim before even me? There's always been a demand for handmade things, especially nowadays. Does your audience skew older by old folks, movie producers, board game enthusiasts, even the occasional youngin'? All people who visit me.
Howie.
It's great when I can relate to most of my clients. Their excitement is mine. Exactly which clients does she relate to? In any case, are you the same as us? Were you also kidnapped on that train and taken in?
Oh,
Ooh, I wouldn't say
Come
kidnapped.
again?
Did you not black out on the train? No,
Well?
I did. Then how else would you describe the situation? Maybe it's more of a surprise
Fire.
excursion? Or yeah, surprise exam. The people are just putting our abilities to the test. Given everyone was an ultimate and given I did speculate a while ago that the knockout gas might have been entirely everything going according to plan, it is absolutely possible that whatever situation we found ourselves in, it's indeed all up to the Academy. It's indeed the Academy. Doing it to test who is the true ultimate of ultimates.
Take this seriously.
That's stupid. If the Academy is that unhinged, no one would continue attending
let's
it.
get going.
Well, you know, whatever it is, I should get out of here. Needless optimism isn't a substitute for reason. I hate to say it, but Damon does have a good point. While it is good to avoid falling to stress and panic in a situation like this, that doesn't change you have to acknowledge that it's primarily a negative situation as well. By the way, there's a gathering happening outside the building Miss Karyu explored. Would you care to join? We plan to discuss some important matters.
No.
Aren't you nice? I'll get right to it. Don't do anything till I'm gone.
Oof.
So you got caught up in this too, did ya? I remember seeing the five of you on that train. You're really ultimate students. We wouldn't have been that train if we weren't. I can't help but notice Eva's the last one we haven't gotten the ultimate talent for. She might tell us soon, or it might be kept a secret. They did kind of do that with Kyoko in the first game, and while I won't spoil what wasn't nearly the big they probably were expecting it to be. Just making sure. Knew the education sector had low standards, but are they just handing out titles to anyone who asks?
Please.
What the hell's her damage? Huh? Right, that's it. What's the matter? I know this bitch. As in, personally. Nah, she's the harlot that's been ruining my magazines. Ever since her interview with Rich People's Digest, her stupid success story has been plastered everywhere. Youngest ever self-made billionaire, pioneer of agricultural industry. Wait, did I hear that right? This girl we're talking to, is she actually... Glad you memorized my name. Your resume? The things said weren't an exaggeration?
If I may ask.
This is news to you. Anyone knows about Winona. Nona. That'd be my name, yes.
Many call me the ultimate entrepreneur. Origins aside, it's one good title.
Winona, the ultimate entrepreneur. No wonder she gave off such an intense aura. This girl probably has enough money to buy an entire country. Well, it wasn't enough to buy her way out of this, so... Last laugh's on her, I guess. Still, that doesn't mean I'm gonna let her talk down to me. She has looks, talent, and wealth. She would be a truly auspicious match. Why would a billionaire need to attend a school like Eden's Garden Academy? I thought it'd be an opportunity to make connections with the well-established geniuses of my generation. Yeah, I would imagine that's at least partially why they'd make a school like this. I mean, I think they did briefly discuss it in Danganronpa-1, now that I think about it. That it also established connections for the future, so yeah.
Nasty.
Now that I'm aware of the lax admissions process, I'm leaving first chance I get. And not because you've been kidnapped. Yeah, you'd think the kidnapping would be a bit higher in reason for as to why you'd not want to join. You can't leave. Destiny's decreed I must guide you towards the most wondrous romance. I'm not really interested in that. I'd rather receive financial reparations from the Academy. At the very least, let me be yours. Dead, with my divine foresight, I shall lead your legal battle to victory. After I fell asleep in the train car, someone must have carried me out and dumped me next to the tree here. Why did no one stop them? Were there no precautions in place to stop someone from manhandling a student? I'd say it was extreme ineptitude on the school's end, but since it appears I'm not the only victim, well, that only makes these things all more sinister. It's just she thinks someone carried her here. It's plausible, I guess. I mean, they could have transported us from the plane by vehicle and carried us in. You woke up. Was anyone with you? Yeah, but she was weird, so I left her. You're a walking stereotype. We know about as much as you do. The 5 of us have been walking around talking to the students on the train. The rest of are congregating outside. Once we meet everyone, maybe we'll figure out what's going on. Say, why don't you join them? I think I'll take you up on that offer. Such relief. One of you actually had something useful to say. This girl's a real piece of work, but given the recent happening, she's not worth the stress. More importantly, what's happened to us, it's just too much for a single pair of hands. Someone had to sneak into or even hijack the train, plant that chemical agent, then carry everyone they knocked out. Yeah, I mean, depending on how long the knockout gas lasted for, it's entirely possible one person could have done all that, but it's rather difficult if they were working alone, you know? There's gotta be more than one person behind this. A group, maybe. The question is who and why.
Yo! I'm Cassidy Amber, the ultimate pro gamer. Don't forget it, Kay.
1v1 me. Nice. Cassidy, the ultimate pro gamer. So I'm guessing this means she specializes in PvP games. Jumping right into an introduction. I like it.
Yep.
I can appreciate that after the beating around the bush everyone else had. Making good first impression is key to grabbing the attention of your viewers, especially if you have over 20 million. Gotta earn the watch time.
Is that really true?
20 million. Is gaming truly that popular? It's not just gaming, it's pro gaming. Facing off against opponents in front of a large audience with prestige and prizes, the stakes can't get any higher. Sadly, my only experience with actual competitive gaming was some Smash Bros. Tournaments during the Brawl era, and, spoiler, I never got past the first round. I ended up stopping because, it's not too hard to enter those, but I was, only had so much money at the time, so I was basically entering just to lose. Unfortunate. Anyhow, I know there's a lot of other ones beyond that. Even Heroes of the Storm, as I mentioned earlier, did have some, but... well, as I implied, Blizzard kind of pulled the plug on that, so... F everyone that liked it. Including me, because I actually thought it was nice having a MOBA that didn't require a whole spreadsheet to play just to play at one time I wanted. Oh well. While her talent's pretty frivolous, her attitude towards video game competitions is somewhat impressive. It's sort of like how I feel about debating.
Question.
Well, I'm glad Damon here can empathize with the spirit of competition. Oh, question. Do you guys know if this place has internet? I promised my comrades my streaming schedule wouldn't change after starting school. So I'm kind of freaking out. Your comrades?
Hey, hey.
Cassidy's comrades, the biggest fan community on the internet. She must mean her followers, being a streamer and all. That would definitely explain the hat. You must be very wealthy then. I've heard the popular streamers earn a lot of money, especially from subscriber donations. There are many stories about young men falling prey to the infamous tiered subscription. They're rendered forever unmarriageable. Such a shame. Yeah, I have heard that the big streamers do make some pretty decent money. Just the big one, I did read, I think it was Asmongold earned like 2 million, and that was pretty neat. But again, that's only top of the top. So, don't expect me to be making anywhere near that much, let's just say. Although granted, he does it for a living, and I do this as a hobby, so... there is a pretty big difference. I mean... same as anyone who does a sport for a hobby versus someone who does a sport as a profession. So how many suckers have you swindled? Such a large fan base, you must be raking in the dough. What's wrong with your face?
See how it is.
The only motivation is money, don't you? Well, duh, why else would you be a streamer?
Classy scum.
Typical. Whoa. I stream for the betterment of the human race. As the leader of Cassie's comrades, it's my duty to redistribute most of my earnings to the masses. You mean you give away all your money? I do tons of expensive and generous stunts on my channel. Most of it's for charity, but sometimes for random subscribers. Oh, like those people Mr. Beast spent like a ton of money to help try and cure blindness. Well, at least she's using it in the most productive way possible.
My genius is almost
One time I
right.
bought a spaghetti factory and donated it to a public school. Those kids will never have to pay for lunch again. They've probably gotten sick of eating pasta every day. I mean, yeah, but at the same time, free food. You can't really complain about, well, as long as it's edible, but again, it's spaghetti factory, so I don't think there's anything to worry about. Alright, yeah. She gets my approval. For whatever, dubious value that is. All my giveaways are streamed too. Really popular, so I get tons of views and donations for them. Impressive, you managed to commodify the act of charity. Of course, I gotta reserve money for basic necessities. Well, to be fair, that's always been the case, so it's not like streamers invented it. I mean, rich people do charities to mark off on their taxes each year. For those who do them. Truckload of chocolate soda being one. That's not a problem for a person like me to have money since I earn it through my own hard work.
So unfair.
Real problems with the swine who make billions every year, even though all they do is sit around, drink cocktails, and stare at their stock profile.
Classy scum.
Like I can detect the rancid stench of a morally bankrupt billionaire in this very academy. I bet they're planning to profit off our suffering as we speak. This girl's honestly pretty deranged, though that might be why she has such a large audience. Regardless, it doesn't explain why someone like her was invited to the academy.
Anywho,
As wary as I am of future confrontation between you and the more affluent students, I suggest you head over to the building I investigated. We've been telling other people to gather there. Well, something tells me I'm going to be able to empathize with Ultimate Streamer here. Even though I'm not particularly good at competitive gaming. Or streaming, if we're completely honest. But hey, sometimes you gotta do something you have a passion for. Ah yes, the guy in the wolf-looking mask.
Come on!
Oh man, just say something. Come on, pretty please.
So harsh.
All I wanted was your name. Hey. Ah!
It figures.
Oh, more
That's a
people.
slipping and sliding.
Hey there. What's the matter with him? I don't know. I spent ages trying to get the guy's name, but he won't say anything. He's being a weirdo about it, just ignore him. Who are you, anyway? Who am I?
The name's Jet Dawson, Ultimate Drag Racer. Nice to meet you, shrimp.
I imagine his wolf motif is in reference to the fox motif that a lot of racing stuff has. Shrimp. Indeed. The drag racer, given his outfit, that comes as no surprise. Aren't you warm in that suit? Are you confused? There's a fan inside the back of my helmet that emits cool air, kind of like the fans in car seats to cool your butt.
Rock and roll!
Isn't that super rad? Ah, dang, he's going Super Saiyan in there. But the way he yells every word, he can make anything sound like a big deal. Only issue is, they don't extend to the rest of my suit.
Get a grip.
And stop wearing the suit. And walk around naked. I mean, wear different clothes. Well, to be fair, I don't think he exactly has a different outfit here.
so
You should also have an ultimate talent,
Well?
correct? Would you mind sharing it?
My name's Mark Bursky. I produce music.
So, music producer? Yeah. Ultimate music producer. That's a pretty competitive market.
It's
Well, I guess the music itself is what's competitive. But it's mostly bad remixes and stuff. No, man, your music is wicked good. You know my songs? Nope. Do I even have to? You're the ultimate music producer. That title says it all. Oh, it produces music, not a...
Moving on.
I assume you two also woke up in this place, correct? Do you have any idea what might be going on? Yeah, this whole shebang came out of the blue, but...
Let me think.
To be honest, it looks like an extreme haunt. Do you know what that is?
It figures.
No, I don't. Figures don't look the type.
You following?
Meaning... And when extreme haunt is an really intense horror attraction, think haunted house crossed with a haunted survival horror game. Staff will chuck you into underground tunnel, trap you in coffins, anything to scare you. I'm pretty good with the coffins, but less so with the tunnels.
That's not important.
And what's this got to do with us?
Catch my drift?
You see, there's a couple places that are known for starting their haunts with a simulated kidnapping.
For real?
To make it feel as real as possible, they take you when you least expect it. Thing is, they can't just jump anyone, you have to consent first. Hell, I'd never agree to being kidnapped. Extreme haunts, they know better than involve me in that crap.
Well,
Maybe we consented without realizing. Huh? For example, the letters we received from the Academy, it's possible those were actually consent forms in disguise.
Really?
Don't tell me, you actually believe this guy? Given what we've seen so far, I'd wager anything's possible. Yeah, I'm kind of with Eva. At this point, we are not in a position where we can really cross out any possibilities. Is that really what's happening here? And accepting that letter to join the Eden's Garden Academy, did I unknowingly agree to this crap? Well, it's just a theory. We won't know what's going on until we explore some more. I know some people who might just be interested in your theory. They're gathering by the courtyard outside. You can join them if you want.
Adios.
Sure thing. Let's go, Mark. Oh yeah, oh darn, I missed my chance to be able... Oh, hi, Mark. But I missed my chance, darn it. Well, leave it to me to miss the obvious jokes. Though he looked less than enthused, he let the drag racer take him by the arm and lead him away. Could it really be possible? Were the letters we received actually consent forms? Is this some kind of messed up attraction? What does that say about Eden's Garden Academy? Is it part of a charade? Is it even real? I should know better than to think nonsense things like that. If the Academy was fake, someone would have already blown its cover. It's more likely this is happening unbeknownst to the Academy. Well, like I said, at this point we can't really cross out anything. And these are the last two.
oops.
Butterfly motif. And... oh, a lizard. So it seems everyone has an animal... object on their person in some way, shape, or form. That would also explain the animal motif around, but oops, I'm sorry for your feelings. I'll give your content a try. Who knows, I might really like it.
Man.
If you didn't like me from the start, you're not gonna like me. Hey, you two.
Over here.
Oh crap, new guy over here. Huh? Board the train before things went crazy, right? Check it out, me and the new guy together again. Stop acting like we're friends, I don't even know you.
You're just messing with me.
That's a joke, right? Oh, what is? That thing you just said? Maybe you've heard my name before. Does Kai Montenegro ring a bell?
Hey.
Come on, Kai. Something of an artist? Something of an entrepreneur?
Very funny.
An influencer, a really big one. Nope, doesn't ring a bell.
Ouch.
Ouch, right in
I
the...
thought I already lost all faith in humanity before coming to this dump, but
Kai Montenegro, ultimate influencer. You don't recognize the dumbass? That must be nice. Well, I suppose there are some people I know of that I would envy people who don't.
Huh?
You
Yes.
do? You guys cancer the internet. You disagree on one thing, and he'll stick his army of underage followers on you. He's a dictator with a trendy fit.
Another day. Another
Dictator sheesh, you naysayer types are always so overdramatic.
Whatever.
Don't listen to a new guy, this chick's recycling other people's propaganda.
Done yet?
You're the one to talk. Check yourself in a mirror before crying propaganda.
See that?
Yeah, huh? I see you're no stranger to photo editing. Kinda impressed. No one ever guessed you had a face of a horse. And the tears returned as quickly as they vanished. On one hand, I do think that Grace is being incredibly harsh, but on the other hand, there is kind of a reason I don't necessarily have the highest opinions of some influencers. So, guess we'll have to see what kind he really is. I'm not sure what I expected an influencer to be like in person, but this is definitely not it. Well, I mean, they're people like anyone else. What do you expect?
Don't be mean.
Some kind of eldritch abomination or something? Hey, leave Kai alone. He may not be the nicest person in the room, but can't you see you're hurting his feelings?
Ugh.
He can get over it. Anyway, what about you? Can you give me your name and talent?
Oh,
Oh, sure.
Diana Venecia, your local cosmetologist. If you're ever in need of a makeover, work my magic. Just ask.
Diana Venica, ultimate cosmetologist.
Come again?
That's it, you're a makeup
For
artist?
your information.
Not just a makeup artist, the makeup artist. What?
Indeed.
Diana is the biggest beautician in all of Hollywood. Yeah, I was gonna say, she's relatively new to the public sphere, but word of her talent's been dominating social media, enough to pique interest of the entertainment elite. Yeah, it might sound like a makeup artist is just something that would be good for makeovers and spa treatments, but oh no, they don't just do beauty treatments either. Like, you know those zombie costumes and stuff people have in movies and such? When they're not CGI, I mean. Those you can thank on a makeup artist for, because they do their damnedest to make sure it's really good stuff. Now every A-list celebrity is scrambling to hire her. I see this is not your first time talking about her. I am simply quoting my friends. They're all on Diana's waiting list. I'm sure.
Anybody?
Why is it shocked this guy doesn't recognize her? What about me?
Humiliating.
Why do you care what he thinks? Isn't the demographic for people like you largely teenage girls? And of course, kids with enough free time that they can follow his instructions.
Hell no!
My stuff is for everyone. I'm inclusive like that. Alright, let's break this up. Diana, could you and Kai go to the courtyard side? We're trying to get everyone together
No
here.
worries.
Alright, see you later. But none of those guys like me either. Makeup artist and influencer. Were this any other academy, I wouldn't bat an eye. The Ultimate Talent Program is a shell of itself. It'll hand out ultimate titles to anyone who asks. Seems Damon here is kind of an asshole. But yeah, it takes all kinds of talents to keep things going, so... he just, but then again, I guess he is the right age to be what's the saying go? I'm not young enough to know everything, something like that. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. Plus, you know, ultimate debater, he probably thinks primarily in practical terms. But Eden's Garden Academy said it was above all that. It said it prioritized academic talent. Now it thinks I'm on par with those two. I think this is the last one. A boy was silently observing the space around him and jotting things down in a notebook. Hey, you.
The hell?
The hell? I just said, sorry, doze off for a bit there.
Cause for concern.
You have terrible eye bags. Have you not been getting enough sleep? Getting knocked on the train is the most sleep I've gotten in a week. Thankfully, that little girl woke me up before I wasted too much time. If I'd known better, I wouldn't have. Your terrible sleep schedules diminished your already meager natural beauty. The guy paused for 2 seconds and began furiously scribbling his notebook. Interesting, boy with snake tie, girl with a white uniform, man with a dapper suit.
Oi, you.
Oh, we do.
Excuse me.
A very loud woman with visor.
Uh?
Are you writing about us?
Mm-hmm.
Made sure to record all my daily happenings. There's no way I'd remember it all otherwise. In some fashion, note-taking is one of my many responsibilities. My name is
Ulysses Wilhelm, and I'm the ultimate historian. Please make note of that for future reference.
Oh, I get it, for future reference. Historian.
Impressive.
Interesting, a fellow scholar, much like myself.
Jeez.
Shouldn't an ultimate historian be good at memorizing stuff? Yes, I'm perfectly proficient at remembering historical facts. This notebook is just for more frivolous information, stuff like shopping lists, classmate birthdays, when I brush my teeth. Such excellent memory wasted on menial trivia. Probably couldn't even remember the date of your wedding anniversary unless you wrote it down.
Unfortunately.
I think that's the same for most of it. So, what do you do as the ultimate historian? As of now, I work at the Patawomic River Museum in come on.
And so on and so on.
I direct one of the exhibits there, the Cold War era. When I'm not giving tours, I'm primarily studying primary source documents in my office. No wonder you can't get any sleep. If you can stay awake while reading all the boring history books, there's definitely something wrong with you. History isn't for everyone, I'm aware, but it's important knowledge nonetheless. Yeah, you know what they say, those who do not learn history are doomed to repeat it.
Mm-hmm.
Those, yeah, sound or do sound stupid when argue on the internet. That is actually very true. I'll have to keep that.
No.
That's not how that saying goes. It isn't, but updated to coincide with more modern values. I thought it was funny. Hey, Ulysses. I thought it was funny.
Right.
Humor is subjective.
Anywho,
People have begun gathering outside.
see?
The plans discuss our next course of action. Could you please join them?
Sleepy.
Yeah, right, thank you, miss. He hurriedly fumbled through pages of his notebook. Toshiko Kira.
Unacceptable!
You seriously forget my name? This is the most egregious offense. Take solace in the fact I am a mere matchmaker and not your romantic partner.
According to my
In a large
notes-
world run by even larger ideas, small things can be easily overlooked. Fanning herself indignantly, Toshiko goes, oh, I get it, small thing is referring to her actual size. Should we follow her? Yeah, this guy we met probably won't. Well done, we've exchanged formalities up in here. I like that she basically just immediately ran back. We should meet up with the others and formulate a plan of action.
I'm an ultimate!
On our honor as ultimates, we shall not be confined any longer. What a dramatic kid. The others should be gathered by courtyards, that's where I should head to next. The other 11 students were gathered in the center of the courtyard, nervously discussing the situation.
Any clue?
So, any clue what's going on here?
What if...
We're being pranked, 100%.
Oh.
This would be a really elaborate prank,
No,
then.
Seriously.
Hey, some people have the money for it.
Hmm.
Whatever it is, I'm killing the prick who's responsible. Unsurprisingly, they didn't seem to be getting anywhere.
Excuse me.
This is off topic, but I don't believe we ever asked your name, lounge woman advisor.
Remember the name.
It's Grace, you wanker.
Mm-hmm.
And your surname, please. Madison, Grace Madison, the ultimate golfer. How'd you know that?
My.
You sat in the dining hall, remember?
That's
I don't recall you being there for introductions.
However,
Maybe she was eavesdropping.
never.
Eavesdropping? I would never. I simply happened to overhear your conversation, that's all. In other words, she was indeed eavesdropping. Hey, if we could take a step back for a second. What was this dining hall?
Correct.
Where was this dining hall? It's inside the building over there. Their kitchen too?
Man.
They got anything low cal? I'm starving.
Attention.
Be patient, will you? Introductions are still underway.
Meh.
Okay, but you'll have to speedrun them.
Oh, man.
Gaming references from someone else. The universe has been thrown out of balance. Along with Grace Madison, we have a mighty and prestigious Wolfgang Akira. He's well known as the ultimate lawyer. Yes, that's correct.
Hey, hey.
Oh, hey, lawyer man. Oh yeah, that's a bear on her hat, I think.
lawyer man.
Is that your name for me?
Yep.
Is he that or Wolfie? Do you like Wolfie
I
more?
must decline.
Stay with what you already have.
Bye.
Lawyer, so nice to meet you. Next up we have... Toshiko turned and squinted at me. His name seems to be escaping me. Perhaps you might know? Wolfgang Grace?
I'm not.
I have no idea. Fuck if I know.
Broski.
You told me, I'm pretty sure it's Mark, right? Oh, my bad. I'm mixing up you sort of guys together. Oi, what are you waiting for? Tell us your name already. Damon Mitzo, ultimate debater. A debater?
Ooh.
Ooh, sounds like a bargain bin lawyer. Well, there is a decent amount of overlap. Hey, that's Grace Madison, Wolfgang Tower, Damon Mitsu. Who else is left?
Hiya.
Come on, darling, you can do it. Yeah, share your name. Eva. Just Eva?
Just like my.
Like the spy. Eva Sunaka. That's a very pretty name.
Would you look at that?
Fittingly elegant, isn't it? Well, let's not go off topic. What is your talent?
That's.
Now that she's mentioned it, I'm pretty sure you never told me your talent. What's up with that? I told you mine. It's only fair you tell me yours. Ultimate liar. How do you get a title like that? That's funny. So, what's your actual talent? Oh, that's it. What? This is weird. If she's the ultimate liar, does that mean, like, everything she says is a lie, and so she's not actually Eva or the ultimate liar? But if she's telling the truth and that is her name and talent, how is that lying? How does that make her a good liar? Well, this explains why she was afraid of sharing it, though.
Good to know.
Didn't know lying was something you could be the best at. You learn something new every day.
For real?
actually believe her? How's someone supposed to make a career out of lying? Easy, get a job in marketing.
It's the truth.
It's just what I
How
am.
can that be?
Isn't that supposed to be your explanation? But that's, I mean, if you're the best at lying, how are you supposed to believe anything you say? As he spurred those feuds, we all turned to Eva expectantly. That's when it happened.
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Can everyone hear me?
Huh.
Yes?
That's great.
Good morning, my amicable student friends.
Fractured mind of the Viceroy.
First off, allow me to apologize.
Name.
I realize the ride here was a bumpy one, especially for ultimates such as yourselves. But expect things to be different within these halls. Yes, it is my pleasure and privilege to welcome you all to Eden's Garden Academy. May this be the beginning of a wondrous journey.
Doubt it.
Did he just say we're actually at Eden's Garden Academy?
No.
We can't
You
be.
think?
No kidding, this place looks nothing like a school.
Stop talking so loud.
Want to hear this? I'm sure you're on the edge of your seats, waiting for proper orientation. There's one more thing to do before we meet face to face. It won't take very long. I'll ask you to enter the building across from me. From there, we can begin preparations for formal introduction. Until then, farewell.
I must take note of this.
That was certainly, interesting.
Whack.
Couldn't agree more. Whack.
Somebody explain.
Do you think he's the person that brought us
You
here?
following?
Yo, what if he set up the sleeping gas on the train?
Bit complicated.
That travel bag? How do you reckon he snuck it on?
Guys.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're not going to skip that part you said about the building, are we? He wants us to go inside. Oh, his beanie looks like an alligator. Oh, what do you think? Should we?
Hell no.
So yeah, absolutely everyone has an animal theme. Even yeah, I guess technically the butterfly would also qualify. So interesting. Oh no, I'm not watching right in there for me to die or something. Die? Do you think we're gonna be harmed? If our captors wanted to kill us, we'd already be dead. What would be the point in killing us now? Reactions, I guess? I don't know, I'm not a
How
psychopath.
should I put it?
It calls for that. What if we walk in together as... If it calls for it, what if we walked in together as one big group? Well, you know someone's looking out for you. I think it's gonna be a lot less scary. Aye, she's got a good point. The only way we can progress is if we face the problem head on. Easier said than done, soybean. I suppose that makes sense, but isn't that a little naive? Nothing wrong with a bit of optimism from time to time. Let's try it, okay? Alright. We gather around the entrance, none of us willing to be the first to walk through. Eventually I mustered enough willpower to push the doors open. Oh dear. In front of me lay the battered, bloody body of a young woman. Oh, that's a swan pin. What? Is that girl dead? Why is there a dead body? What happened?
No way.
Is this another student?
Holy.
Shit, what the shit? Dining hall people, you were in this building before, tell us what's going on. Yeah, why didn't you mention this other girl?
hell?
The hell? I never even saw her when we were in here. You were there too, bargain bin? I don't even... There's a floor below us, that's where I woke up.
Very funny.
And you missed a whole ass person? Yeah,
Hell
right.
no.
You saw her, you have just seen her. Come on, admit it. Stop pressing me for an answer. I can corroborate Damon's story, there was never a body. Miss Madison and I walked through this exact hallway and we saw nothing.
I wasn't.
So between the
expecting
time you
this.
left and the time you returned, this girl was murdered. You think she was murdered? Well, I don't know for sure, but I mean... What happened to her? Does it really look self-inflicted?
Oh, shit.
So there's a killer running loose. Don't recall hearing anything when I was waiting outside. Desmond can back me up, right? She's right, there were no screams. No one left the building. So the killer's still inside? As more panic shouts filled the corridor, Eva silently walked over the body. Oi, what are you doing? Ignoring Grace's question, she crouched down beside the dead girl and poked her in the face.
What the? You.
What's wrong with you? Stop that!
Strange.
It's not real. Eh? This girl. She's just a dummy.
How?
A dummy? Nuh-uh, that's definitely a real body.
Crazy.
Didn't you say we're a liar? Why should we believe you?
It's the truth.
If you don't believe me, inspect it yourself.
Huh?
Oh, if no one else is offering, I can do it.
Are we
Wait,
ready?
him? Well, how's that sound to everyone? I turned to look at each of us. I had my reservations, and when his gaze met mine, my lips were instantly sealed shut. The look he gave me was unexpectedly intense. Yeah, you can do it. The pirate casually approached the body and knelt beside it. Then, like Eva,
I'll be damned.
look at that! She's right, it is a dummy!
For real?
Say what?
How did she know it was a
We'll
fake?
see.
My intuition. Also, a corpse would smell. This doesn't smell.
Dude, no!
As if. Could she be any more suspect?
That ain't it.
Not just that, there's something under the dummy. What is it? Tablet. John rose from the ground and turned around to face us. Sure enough, he was holding a tablet. It was slid under the dummy. There's no blood on it from what I could tell. Huh, nice hiding place. We wouldn't have noticed if I hadn't taken a closer look. Gives the impression I was supposed to, don't it?
For real?
Hey, what's on the tablet? Let me turn it on. He pressed a button and walked over and held the tablet out for us to see. Oh, it's loading something. After a few seconds, the loading symbol vanished. In this place was a photo of a girl. What's this? However, the tablet hadn't finished loading. Just after that image. The victim is Kara Koskian, the ultimate teacher's aide. She was stabbed in the torso 28 times. The victim also suffered chemical burns to the head, most notable burns, eyes, and scalp. Cause of death is blood loss, time of death unknown. It reads like a body report. First a dead body is revealed to be a dummy, now a body report? What the hell's going on? I would have thought maybe it was someone killed to be in demonstration, but if it's not real... Eesh, took you long enough to find that tablet. Long, long ago, a heinous murder was committed, and the victim so happened to be an ultimate, much like yourselves. What? Before you is a perfect reconstruction of the crime scene, as well as an effigy of the victim with the appropriate injuries. It was quite emotionally draining to craft that dummy. It served as a strong reminder of what was lost. So this guy knew who it was that was murdered. She was such a nice girl, so much potential lost to violence. What was the man playing at? Anyway, it's your responsibility to figure out the details of her death. The surrounding area, murder weapon, how she reacted in her final moments, etc. Oh, but don't worry about finding the murderer's identity. He's already right in front of you. See that gray man? Yep, that's your guy. Please investigate the crime scene, gather as many clues as you can. After a certain period of time, you'll be asked to present your findings to me. Believe me, it's in your best interest to put your full effort into this. Have fun, everyone.
Not okay!
Investigation? What the hell? Enough of this already. I don't want any part of this. Stop telling me what to do. Grabbed a large chunk of rock from the floor and ran over the speaker. Screaming an obscenity, she pulled her hand back as far as she could.
Brutal.
No way, was that the watch? Trying to destroy private property? That's a zap.
Fuck you! Holy...
Is he for real? Is the school really trying to make us solve an old murder?
Don't say that.
Hold on, you guys. You can't just believe everything that strange man said. Why would Eden's Garden Academy, any academy for that matter, do something like this? Even if it tried to, the Ultimate Talent Program would have stopped them. I wouldn't underestimate school board executives. Money can go to people's heads and make them take risks they shouldn't. This academy said it was unique. Maybe this is their vision of an entrance exam.
Joke.
They're so obsessed with being different with the competition, they've forgotten what people want. More like they've forgotten how to be sane. Would the UTP really be okay with this?
Think about it this way.
Seems counterintuitive. Everyone would want to quit their enrollment right after. And Sue. If this was the work of a separate group, why are they using the Academy's name? As a way to hide their own? They might have even kidnapped us because we're attending the Academy. Explain. Well, what if they knew we all had to board a train? It would explain why we passed out. They boarded the train before us and planted a bag with gas. Because this happened to be the train of the Academy, they could claim they are the Academy.
If I may ask.
Everyone keeps saying they. Isn't it the speaker man who kidnapped us?
That's not it.
Well, obviously it wasn't just him. Seizing a train, bringing 16 people to an unknown location, that takes a team to do. Also, they can use voice changers. Of course, this raises another glaring question. Why us? Why have we been brought into this? Is it because we're ultimates? It's not like anyone's specialty is detective work. It just doesn't add up. There's no ultimate detective here, that's for sure.
Grotesque.
I'll let you handle this. I doubt I'll need it in this grotesque situation. I'll be on my way. Yeah, it's okay. Actually, can I come with? I feel super bad leaving you alone. Oh. Sure, I suppose.
You can do it.
Feel like solving the mystery, everyone. I know you can do it. On that note, Diana and Toshiko walked away in the direction of the room to the kitchen. Huh.
Don't get close.
I'm going with them. Screw this. Kai took off like his life depended on it. Well, better than us.
Oh.
I don't know about all this. Will that man really let us go if we
calm.
investigate? We won't know if we continue standing around. For now, all we can do is take a risk and do as he says. He's right, I need to brace myself and follow the directions I'm given. As of now, it's my only way to learn more information about my current situation. I can only hope this ordeal will be over soon. Investigation, start. Before I do anything else, I should go back over the tablet. The victim is Kara Koshkin, the ultimate teacher's aide. She was stabbed in the torso 28 times. The victim also suffered chemical burns to the head. Most notable ones are eyes and scalp. Cause of death is blood loss, time of death unknown. There's a lot going on here. Chemical burns in addition to 28 stab wounds. Holy shit, I don't want to believe anything the speaker guy says, but this murder is based on true events. The killer really is sick in the head. Yeah, when they go that overkill, it usually means it was personal. Or I guess they could just be incompetent and don't know how much is needed to actually kill, but whatever. Tablet's been added to the truth bullet section of your trinket. Warm body. What am I doing? I'm supposed to be investigating the crime scene. Well, first thing first, examine the body. Our captors gave a lot of information about this victim. To their credit, what's written on the tablet seems to be accurate, but I should probably inspect the body just to be safe. Damn, it's just a doll. Stop hesitating. The doll was slumped against the door, her torso soaked in blood. Parts of her shirts ripped open, exposing bits of bloody, indiscernible pulp. I quickly took a step back, trying to control my breathing to avoid throwing up. It's just a doll, there's no reason to be afraid. She has... yeah, blood on her fingertips. Her hands were surprisingly clean, all things considered. There were no other marks or injuries apart from her nails. It looked like dried blood beneath them. Why is there blood, but not on the rest of her hand? It could be that she got... if there's blood under the fingernails, it could be from her attacker. It does seem like she tried to put up a fight, because there's no bullet wounds, and yet there's an assault rifle here. The initial sight of the doll shocked me so much, I completely overlooked this rifle. Inspecting it now, I realized something. If the victim was stabbed, why is there a rifle near the body? A rifle? Could you step back a bit? I'm curious about something. What? No, Before I could finish it, Jean walked over where I am and picked up the gun. Hey, you're messing with the crime scene. Ignoring me, he released the magazine with surprising ease. Eh? From the top of the magazine, it protruded a preloaded bullet.
See.
That's interesting, this rifle wasn't even used. Definitely a dangerous thing to have around. I'll put it down and guard it so nobody else has any smart ideas. Better than him holding it, I guess. Damn though, a loaded gun. What's going on in the killer's head? Why bring a gun to the crime scene and not use it? Unless that gun was purely for intimidation? It's not logical, but it'd be a twisted game to play with the victim. Yeah, I get the sense she was trying to use it, but didn't get a chance. That's at least my theory so far. Bloody knife. This seems to be the... bloody knife lay next to the victim. It's safe to say this must be the murder weapon. The girl's been stabbed repeatedly. I don't need the tablet to know that. However, her cause of death, you'd think it'd be a stab in the heart or something, but the tablet claimed blood loss. Take a closer look at the wounds. They don't seem excessively deep. At least not deep enough to pierce her heart or something. If she died from blood loss, what does that say about the killer? They probably couldn't have killed her could have killed her quickly if they wanted. They wanted her to suffer a slow death, or maybe they didn't know how to kill her quickly and it was a spur-of-the-moment thing. No, if it was spur-of-the-moment, there wouldn't be so many stabs. This is messed up. Well, that seems to be all of it. Nothing else catching my eye. I should check inside the closet itself now. The janitor's closet. Like the rest of the building, the inside of the closet is old and dilapidated. It's the last place I want to dig through, but I had to gather as much evidence I could, or else I couldn't present a strong argument. It's a bucket, pretty typical thing to find inside a janitor closet. Why is it randomly lying here? There's nothing inside except what's the smell? Bleach? Bleach is usually used to clean off blood. Back of the closet. I need to inspect the area around me before I go in the back of the room.
Check it out!
Hey, check out what's behind this door! Saying that, she stepped away from the corner. It's a ladder. Doesn't seem like there seems to be anything strange about it. Why was this brought to my attention?
Not cool.
I'm disappointed in you.
So
Seriously.
You're calling this a ladder. It's obviously a step ladder. I see we're not escaping the Ace Attorney references quite yet. I agree with Miss Amber. Everyone knows an ace investigator must record evidence as accurately as possible. That's certainly what a victim would want. That guy doesn't get my references, no fun to be around. I'm gonna check on the peeps outside. Smell you later, lawyer man. She's already out. Did she even investigate anything besides a stupid ladder? The shelf was packed with an assortment of towels. I briskly inspected them, lifting each, check for anything. Made to gather dust, but that was it. Nothing was suspicious. There might be more clues around. I'm gonna check the entire closet for evidence. No thanks. A person like her is probably more like a cause a murder, not solve one. Alright, have fun with that.
It's for the best.
We must make every effort possible to examine the crime scene as thoroughly as possible. Not for the sake of entertaining the people who kidnapped us, but for the sake of the victim. After all, this is based on a real murder, was it not? That was what the tablet said, although I'm still skeptical about the validity of that statement. Clock. There's a clock above the door. It doesn't seem like it works. Looks like everything in the room here. I should check it out. The middle of the room. It's another surveillance camera. Is the guy on the speaker watching us through this? Just the thought made my stomach turn. No. Security camera. It's brand new. Now that you mention it, it does look out of place here. You'd think it would gather dust like the other items here. Did everything get cleaned? The company's headquarters have a similar one installed, except these cameras are even more high-tech. Typical school, spending more on security than educating students. I would think student security would be fairly important. And of course, that assumes this is even the Academy's doing.
Gotta stay one step ahead.
I checked all the containers on this shelf. They're all full, with the exception of one, a bottle of bleach. Bleach, huh? There was a bucket in the closet that reeked of it. That's probably not a coincidence then, given this thing is supposed to emulate a real crime scene. It's crazy how much effort was put into this. I can't think too much about what kind of situation we're in, or I'll never be able to handle it.
Golly!
Those shelves are real intriguing. Take a look, some of these cleaning brands date back to the 80s and 90s. You recognize them? Because I use them. Why would you do that?
How should I put it?
Old chemicals can do the job better, since there are fewer regulations about what's all poisonous and all that. Just don't ask where I got them, don't want to know the fuzz. I'm sure they don't care about black market cleaning supplies. Alright everyone, it's time. Look at you, all investigating the crime scene so well, it's enough to bring a tear to my eye. Jokes aside, it's time to meet the elevator for a class trial. You'll find her on the Tree of Ignorance. Don't make me wait too long, I might start to get zap happy. See ya soon. Class trial, what the hell does that mean? Sounds like that's the end of our investigation. If we're done with the closet, we should go outside and talk with the others.
come off the grass.
Oi, what the hell's a class trial? Your guess is as good as mine. Obviously, we're going to court.
What?
Court?
What?
He's going to put us on trial?
Listen to me.
Maybe that's where we'll talk about the clues we found.
Just saying.
Makes sense for our current situation. Investigation, clues, files. What else could all this stuff be for? Good point. It does seem oddly similar to court procedures. Obviously, we're missing key suspects and witnesses, but they don't seem relevant to this case anyway.
Wait a minute.
You mentioned this elevator is near the Tree of Ignorance, right? You must be referring to the room with the tree.
Focus.
Probably, yeah. That's the only thing I can think of. However, I don't recall seeing an elevator anywhere. What are we waiting for? Let's get our butts over there.
Okay.
She keeps treating this like a dumb game. If we're really on trial, that's gonna be a nuisance to deal with. Might as well follow her. One by one, everyone left. I guess I have no choice but to go as well. I guess the more I think about it, the more Damon's being a bit of a dick for no good reason when it comes to looking down on the other Ultimates, because while Ultimate Debater is a good thing to have, that's usually a component of other jobs like lawyering, which is usually a more practical application of it. Like, sure, I'm sure it was even my school had a debate team, but, yeah, those are usually used for other components as other jobs rather than being a job in of itself. I suppose that does mean his options are open. How do you mean so stoic at a time like this? Aren't you worried at all?
Simple.
Not really. It's not like we're investigating some high-stakes murder. Just dummy, that's it. Yeah, quite. I completely concur. She's obviously faking it. Without even looking at her face, I can tell she's sweating bullets. Ah, I was wondering what animal theme she had. She has a flamingo. That statue wasn't here before, was it? When I arrived at the tree, I saw people already bickering.
Check it out.
Big tree, Eden's Garden Academy? Overused religious symbolism is tight. Really hope we get let out after this.
Oi, you.
Can you confirm, liar chick?
Hmm.
Why are you asking
Come
her?
off the grass.
Come off the grass. She's clearly faking her
Am
talent.
I hearing you right?
And that makes her one of the bad guys? Who would want to fake their identity besides someone with a secret to hide? I bet she's the only one who brought I bet she's the one who brought that gas bomb on the train. And she didn't think to bring a mask to avoid passing out herself or whatever?
No one else is gonna say
If all you need a mask to protect you, then... Hey, don't look at me, I literally passed out. This helmet's got plenty of holes in it. I'd suffocate otherwise.
I've got something to say.
No, the liar chick's totally sus. Just like a calm she's been acting. She somehow knew the dead body was a dummy and then poked in the face. It's not normal. I told you, it's intuition. Intuition my ass. It's not unbelievable. My gut told me we should inspect it all. Now look at us. We're on a mission to solve a murder.
Any clue?
Where's this elevator supposed to begin? That's right, we're meant to look for an elevator around here. All I see is a tree of ignorance. Maybe we're missing something here. Or maybe we're being played for fools. Well, it's pretty obvious here. At the base of the tree was a marble little bust depicting a figure in a creepy mask. There were cracks all over the mask. One of the eyes was even missing. How old must this thing be? You know, it's a statue too, don't you?
Huh?
Yeah.
Alright.
What's up with the statue? It's definitely something whack about it. I can't just put my finger on what. Actually, now that I think about it, tree of ignorance, but the Garden of Eden that had the apple that Adam and Eve ate from, that was the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
Look.
It ends, what it broke was their innocence. Mask is broken, there's a piece missing. Is that weird? The statue's probably like super old, makes sense to be cracked and stuff. No, this definitely seems intentional.
Way.
Like it's crappy on purpose? Even so, it's not relevant to the elevator, is it? Well, you know... Maybe we find a piece and stick it back to the statue, something will happen, like a puzzle-solving game. Oh dang, I wasn't expecting to do a Resident Evil stream, but it seems that's what we're doing now. That sounds so far-fetched, wouldn't hurt to try. Saying we gotta look around for the other part of the mask? Hold on to your butts, cause I got the eyes of a predator. This isn't a no, never mind. With that, everyone started to search the tree. Some people inspected the tree, others scoured around it. It's like a few minutes, Grace stood up with a in her hand. Oh, everyone, I found it! Regardless of what Grace is holding. Nice, that must be it. What should we do with it? Do we just stick it back on the mask?
Leave it to me.
Probably, yeah. I'll take care of it. Back off, Hercules. You ain't the one who found it. Grace brought the piece of the statue and slotted it right in. Then nothing happened. Well, that was anticlimactic. Suddenly the ground we were standing on begins to shake. Oh, golly.
Oh, shit!
Are we about to die?
No!
Yeah, I was right. That actually worked. A secret passageway in a tree. I never thought I'd see that. The Tree of Knowledge, a symbol of sentience, intuition, understanding, exists only here as a barren replica. Tree of Ignorance emulates a wonder of nature, but does not achieve it. Justly so, for ignorance inspires to be seen as wisdom.
Game over, man! Game over!
Oh, I love that one. Oh, now he's spinning around in philosophy. We're so fucked. Well, let's take us to the elevator.
What about...
There's stairs the foot of the opening. What are we waiting for? Let's
If I
go.
may ask,
Why the sudden rush?
Duh.
I want to get home, duh.
Elementary, my dear.
If we get this over with, it'll be quicker. Simple math. Fair enough. So we just walk in, do we? One by one, we approach the opening of the tree and descend into darkness. This really is an elevator. I see. The elevator is underneath the tree. Reckless investments, I'm telling you. Alright, different people were talking, huh? Yeah. I must say, adding the portraits as well as the names of that really does a lot. I'm glad they did that. With a rumble, the elevator began its descent. We stood in silence, 16 worried strangers plummeting into the unknown. That's what we were, after all. Oh, right, can I go up enough to see if the, Okay, yeah, I was wondering if the mysterious person had a portrait of the Monokuma or what... I completely slipped my mind what the, speaker was called for some reason, but yeah, the speaker. So we're after all random people thrown in this horrible place. And for what? Some twisted man's game? Fake crime scene investigation, creepy statue, elevator and tree. None of this is the work of your average kidnapper. There's something much bigger, and no way could it be connected to Eden's Garden Academy. The elevator began to slow, snapping me out of my thoughts. I stood up tall, and when movement stopped completely, the doors finally opened. In front of us, a large circular hall supported by marble pillars. In the center of the room, 16 podiums have been arranged in a circle. Were those for us? Welcome, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the elevator ride, even if it was a little quick. As you can see, this is the trial room. Each podium has a name on it. Find your designated podium and stand there until I give further instructions.
However,
And if we don't comply, then I'll zap you, of
back
course.
off.
Not the zapping shit again. Just face it, Miss Madison. We have to go along with his demands. Looks like there are a few smart ones in the pack, eh? Oh, come along now. We don't have all day. There's no avoiding it. We have to assume our places. Scanning the faces around me, everyone wore similar expressions. Discomfort, anger, worry, it didn't end. We've been kidnapped and forced to play as pawns in some insane game. No free will, no choice in our actions. All we could do was move forward. Oopsie. We had to hope for an escape and run away from this twisted place. We had to solve this murder case. Would you like to save your game? Sounds like a good idea, yeah. Pro class trial preparation. View trinket. Review truth bullets. Tablet. Cause of death is blood loss. Alright, chemical burns I'm guessing is supposed to be from the bucket full of bleach. Bucket found on the side of the general closet. The interior of the bucket reeked of bleach. Fully loaded assault rifle next to the victim's body. It's speckled with blood, but it was never used. Blade knife, blood-soaked knife. Victim's hands. Dried blood underneath. The rest of the hands were clean. We don't have too much to work with, for better or worse here. I don't mind the medium difficulty. Class trial is now in session.
Let's begin with a brief explanation of the class trial. The objective here is simple. Explain how the murder took place. Using evidence you've gathered during the investigation, you will argue what you believe happened to the victim. Should you all agree on the right answer, you will be free to leave this place. Should you all agree on the wrong answer, well, you'll find out. That's all there is to it. Have fun, everybody.
Somebody, get me out of here.
If this is something we must discuss, I know a good place to start.
Get me out of here, 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 get me... Somebody get me out of here!
I suppose she's just saying what we're all thinking.
What happened to her? Oh, shit! They fried her brain!
Calm down. It's only a shock. She won't suffer any Permanent side effects. If I wanted to see the brain dead bigger, I'd just turn on the telly. On that note, please, carry on.
It sounds like we have a very aggressively British man. Oh shit, the people running this thing aren't playing around.
As you were saying, Wolfgang?
Right. The way I see it, the objective of this
By the way, can I get like a seat with this thing? I'm just gonna be an onlooker. It's only fair.
You're seriously not going to contribute?
What am I even supposed to do?
Put your detective hat on, buddy. We're here to solve a mystery.
Yeah, who murdered that dummy chick, right?
Not who murdered her, how they murdered her.
Did that tablet not explain it?
It listed her wounds, yes, but it didn't explain how they were inflicted.
Yeah, we need... The fact the gun was there but never used means she was not shot. She was stabbed, but it wasn't fatal. The bleach...
Probably because it's so obvious.
But, Miss Amber, you didn't even read the tablet.
And I don't have to.
Would you look at that? A debate's already underway.
These guys are clearly confused. I need to stop them before they arrive at the wrong conclusion. Alright, before we get too far in here, I'm gonna hydrate a bit. My throat's a little dry. Ah, that feels a lot better. Oh gosh, do you hear that? That's the sound of non-stop debate. During these, classmates speak one after another without interruption. They may say things that contradict the truth, and it's your job to find which must be broken to progress the trial. For your ammo, you're armed with the truth bullets you gathered during your investigation. Truth bullets are relevant. The debate will be loaded into your truth cylinder. Use the mouse to aim and right key to fire. You'll want to aim towards the highlighted in gold. Those are weak spots. A lie or contradiction may be hiding within the weak spot. Awesome. Carefully compare classmates' statements to the evidence you've gathered, and use the correct truth bullet to destroy the relevant weak spot. If things are flying too fast, you can use spacebar to concentrate. This will temporarily slow time. Speaking of time, be sure not to run out. That's an automatic game over. Not that someone of your caliber would ever fail. True, I am the ultimate debater, or at least in his shoes. Anyway, press F3 to revisit these whenever you wish. That's all. Don't jump to too many conclusions. Non-stop debate. Here, now we get to the good part. Assault rifle.
The mystery was never about who killed Kara, but how she died.
Is that true?
Objection! It's obvious what the murder weapon was.
I didn't get a good look at the crime scene, but the body was pretty bloody.
And what could have spilt that blood besides that big, scary gun?
No, that's wrong!
Nice. That felt satisfying.
Cassie, can you stop butting in? You barely investigated the crime scene to begin with.
Whoa, what? I searched that place from top to bottom.
Alright, then tell me, how was a fully loaded assault rifle used as the murder weapon?
That's easy. It wasn't. Obviously, the shooter reloaded their gun to full capacity. Any smart shooter could tell you that. Right, Desmond?
Why are you bringing me into this?
Except, the victim suffered multiple stab wounds to the torso. If the gun was fired, not only should the body have had bullet wounds, but there would be shell casings from the fired bullets. We saw neither at the crime scene.
Details. If the gun didn't do that chicken, what was the actual murder weapon?
That's obvious.
I got it. The bloody knife. It's just so blatantly obvious. It was literally right next to the victim's body.
Lysocam's razor gotta ruin everything.
Wait, was that really pronounced Occam's razor? All these years I've been pronouncing it Occam's razor. Crap.
Interesting. Both the knife and the rifle were present at the crime scene, but only the knife was used.
Kind of weird, choosing the inferior weapon.
Nothing beats the sting of a sharpened blade.
If the killer didn't use the rifle, why was it at the crime scene?
Maybe it came from inside the closet.
Don't see why you'd be storing a gun in a janitor's closet.
Unless the janitor has been moonlighting as an assassin.
Man, I don't know. What if it's not even related to the murder?
No, it definitely is in some
Of course
fashion.
it's related. It's covered in blood.
Oh no. Everyone's starting to yell.
This debate's getting out of control fast. I need to say something. Tablet, assault rifle.
To reiterate, both the rifle and the knife were next to the victim's body.
Yet they opted for the knife. Odd choice.
I bet that gun didn't even work. These days, it's all about aesthetics over effectiveness.
That's like your opinion, lady.
If the gun was broken, then the killer would have no reason to bring it with them. And yet, they did.
Watch it be for the aesthetic.
This one's actually tricky. It's easy to assume the killer was the one holding the gun, but considering the details of the victim's death, I'm interested to think otherwise. Yeah, I think it was in her hands.
To reiterate, both the rifle and the knife were next to the victim's body.
Yet they opted for the knife. Odd choice.
I bet that gun didn't even work. These days, it's all about aesthetics over effectiveness.
That's like your opinion, lady.
If the gun was broken, then the killer.
Alright, tablet.
Would have no reason to bring it with them. And yet, they did.
Watch it be for the aesthetic.
To reiterate, both the rifle and the knife were next to the victim's body.
Yet they opted for the knife. Odd choice.
I bet that gun didn't even work. These days, it's all about aesthetics over...
You're a...
Have no reason to bring it with them.
Be for the aesthetic.
This one's actually really tricky. These are the killers on there.
To reiterate, both the rifle and the knife were next to the victim's body.
They opted for the knife. Odd choice.
Didn't even...
Like you're a...
If the gun was broken, then the killer would have no reason to bring it with them. And yet...
Be for the aesthetic.
To reiterate, both the rifle and the...
Like your opinion.
If the gun was broken, then...
No, that's
Yeah, the
wrong.
victim had it. Okay, I got it right. The tablet was to represent it was the victim that was holding it.
Stop that thought right there. If we keep assuming the killer had the gun, we'll end up running in circles.
What? You think the killer was unarmed?
No, they were definitely armed. With a knife. The reason they didn't use a gun is probably because they never had it to begin with.
But then, who did?
Easy. The victim.
Whoa, the dummy had the gun?
If it wasn't the killer, it has to be her. She must have brought it to the closet. She was probably carrying it before the murder, but dropped it when the killer attacked her.
Oh, I think I know what the...
I guess that makes
how the
some
bucket and
sense.
everything might have happened then.
Complete sense.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. Aren't you overlooking something?
Huh?
The victim was stabbed from the front, meaning she could have seen the killer coming, correct? If so, why didn't she shoot them?
That's the point, and I think something was done specifically to distract them so that they wouldn't have a chance to do so.
A stealth attack! I bet the killer memorized her AI movements.
That girl must have been killed before she had the chance to defend herself.
Or was disarmed.
That's not technically true. There's evidence of a struggle between the victim and the killer.
Specifically, this one shows the victim's hands.
This is it. We found dry blood under the victim's fingernails, which implies she was clawing at her attacker. Of course, no explanation is definitive without photo proof of the killer, but I'm confident this is what happened.
Why would you resort to scratching when you're carrying a gun?
Did something get in the way of her using it?
Wonder if that killer stole it from her.
She should have seen or heard him coming from the hallway at the very least.
Why do you think she was in the hallway?
That's where the fight happened, right?
I think you're getting ahead of yourself. How can we be sure the fight happened there?
Right.
Maybe the fight started in the hallway, and after it ended, her body was dragged into the closet.
If that happened, shouldn't there have been streaks of blood on the floor or in the hallway?
Drag marks? Can't say I saw any.
It was merely a jest. No need to take it so seriously.
Instead of dragging the victim, what if the killer carried her? I don't know why they would want to do that, but it would explain the lack of drag marks.
But then, wouldn't the killer have been covered in
blood? Aye. It should have gotten everywhere. Those wounds were brutal. A few inches deep, I reckon. Carrying her would have done nothing to stop the blood flow.
Good point.
She was obviously killed in the closet. That's where the blood was?
Yes, you're right. I'm so sorry for derailing the conversation.
It's fine. If nothing else, confirming that it had to have been in the closet helps us move
Moving
forward.
on. That fight. The victim had the gun, but she was overpowered?
If she wanted to, she could have just, you know.
It doesn't make much sense, does it?
There's something missing. Something that would explain how the victim would be overpowered despite having a superior weapon. And I know I'm the only one who could figure it out. Alright, I'll talk about agree points. During the last onslaught, you probably noticed some phrases were blue. Bet you weren't expecting that, huh? Those phrases are agree points. They're counterpoints to weak spots. Counterpart to weak spots. As the name would suggest, if you agree with a point that aligns with the evidence you've gathered, use your truth bolts in order to prove it correct. This mechanic largely replaced... Yeah, in the first Danganronpa, they had the ability to copy information the people said to use as a truth bullet elsewhere, but they later games replaced it with agree points, which frankly I think is a much better mechanic. Simply aim your reticle at it as you would a weak spot and shoot. In your pursuit of the truth, you must be prepared to corroborate your classmates' testimonies. When it would be wise to do so is for you to figure out. Good luck. Bucket, tablet, victim hands.
That slimy killer pulled a fast one and knocked the gun out of her hand.
By the sounds of it, those two did have a crazy tussle.
But she still carried a gun. So why didn't she shoot?
She couldn't.
I bet that girl didn't even see them coming.
Maybe she thought the killer was her friend? I know I wouldn't hurt a friend.
She tried clawing their eyes out.
Why did the victim not shoot her attacker? Everyone's got a theory, but who has the actual answer?
Slimy killer pulled a fast one and knocked the gun out of...
That's right. The killer lunged at her and pushed the gun out of her hands.
This sounds risky. What if she saw them and unloaded a bunch of bullets?
That's an even better point.
That slimy killer pulled a fast one and knocked the gun out of her hand.
By the sounds of it, those two did have a crazy tussle.
But she still carried a gun. So why didn't she shoot?
I bet that girl didn't even see them.
Oops.
Appreciate the support, but you're not talking any sense, mate.
Now even the pirate's scolding me. What was I thinking? I guess while I'm here, I can now say what I was thinking. Basically, my logic is they... you might have heard of the old prank where they have a bucket full of something at the top of a doorway so that when they step in, the bucket falls on them. My logic is they did that trick, but with bleach instead of the usual water paint.
That one and knocked the gun out of her hand.
By the sounds of it, those two did have a crazy tussle.
But she still carried a gun. So why didn't she shoot like that? Didn't even see that. Maybe she thought the killer.
I know I wouldn't hurt a friend.
She tried calling their eyes
Out.
That slimy killer pulled a fast one and knocked the gun out of her hand.
By the sounds of it, those two did have.
Why like that? Didn't even see that.
Maybe she thought the killer knew I wouldn't hurt her friend. She tried calling their eyes
Out.
That slimy killer pulled a fast one
That burns to her eyes and scalp, so yeah, seeing.
and knocked the gun out of
Bet that didn't even.
Got it.
I got it.
Consent.
John actually has a point. The victim probably couldn't see what was going on. According to the tablet, she suffered chemical burns to the face and eyes. That sort of injury would have effectively blinded her. Also, inside the janitor's closet, there was a large empty bottle of bleach. That's probably the chemical that caused the burns.
Blinded? With bleach? That's horrible.
Yeah, that would sting like hell.
All that pain, yet she still managed to fight back?
Fight or flight, the adrenaline gets you going.
She sure put up a struggle. Without a gun, I guess the next best thing was her hands.
So the killer was definitely the one who blinded her.
Indeed. Knowing she had a gun, he blinded her to make her less dangerous. Then, when he pinned her against the door and stabbed her, she tried to retaliate.
Until eventually dying from her wounds. Jeez, this is brutal. Couldn't they have toned down the violence?
The past is in the past, and we can't change that. All we can do is solve her untimely death, eh?
I mean, by the sounds of it, we've already figured it out, right?
No. Not yet.
Seriously?
But we've already discussed so much!
We know she was armed. We know she was blinded. We figured out how she died. How is this not a closed case?
Please understand, I'm proud of everyone's hard work so far. Because of you, we're one step closer to bringing the victim justice.
This was never about the dummy.
However, we should think of this case like an equation. Knowing how it works is only half the struggle. Now we need to figure out why.
As if...
You're on the right track.
Huh?
You speak like we have any information on the killer. The man's a stock image. He doesn't even have a name. What are we supposed to ascertain from that? That he's a non-character?
Not every answer will be written down for you. Sometimes actions speak louder than...
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hold the phone!
Grace?
Oh, she finally broke it.
What? Since when was Grace back to normal?
Right now, Soybean. Watching you guys try to solve this mystery has been like watching a dumpster catch on fire. I guess all that smoke must have clouded your vision, 'cause there's a big-ass elephant in this room. An elephant in the room?
That's giving us too much credit.
So the killer incapacitated that girl. She had a gun, it makes total sense. Problem is, you've yet to explain how he used the bleach.
I sort of assumed he spilled it on the victim.
Right. He just tipped the bottle over her.
That bottle is where the bleach came from, sure. But I doubt the bottle itself was involved in the murder. When we found it, it was neatly ordered on a shelf near the back of the closet.
Yeah, this has been prepared a while.
The gun and knife were just thrown on the floor. So it's weird this weapon was handled so differently.
Do you think the killer just poured the contents of that bottle into something else?
Sure, before the actual murder took place, I'd say.
And what is this something else? Go on. Explain it before this dumpster turns molten.
She's really stubborn, but I get the I get the point she's trying to make. Before we move on from the subject, let's make sure the logic is entirely sound. Alright, let's put out the fire.
Well, if the original bottle's been emptied, where'd the bleach go?
Into another bottle?
What about a container? There were a bunch in the closet.
I bet the killer had a secret water gun. So when the victim came in, pow! He squirted her in the eyes.
Hey, the ink vanishes when the battle's over.
Call the fire brigade, Grace.
To inflict those chemical burns, the killer had to use something, but what? It's pretty easy, it's the bucket.
Well, if the original.
What about a container?
Oopsie.
There were
Grace.
Well.
Into.
What about a container?
There we are.
I got it.
We got it.
She's correct. The killer put the chemicals in a bucket. Or, more specifically, the same bucket we found at the crime scene. After all, it reeked of bleach. If the killer didn't use it to transport bleach, what else did they use it for? Personal cleaning? I doubt it.
Yo, that makes sense.
Man, our protagonist has the snake tie, that's right. They did mention that earlier. So yeah, everyone's got an animal theme one way or another.
A broken clock is right twice a day.
Okay, cool. So, how'd the killer use that bucket to spill bleach in the victim's eyes?
It would be a fairly heavy bucket, so it's unlikely he threw it on her.
She'd shoot him before he even had the chance. Use your brain, mate.
Of course, my apologies.
Good question. How are they able to get a hefty bucket, especially without her knowing? Let's be a clue
Even if
missing
he
here.
did manage to splash her, the girl should have sustained intense facial burns. However, aside from her eyes, her face was relatively untouched.
Well, if you check the tablet, it said she had burns to the scalp, too.
Burns to the scalp? How does that work? Unless those chemicals came from above?
Above. That's right, above.
Did the killer somehow suspend the bucket in the air? Maybe there was a mechanism that made it tip over when someone entered the room.
Where's this bucket supposed to be again?
Above. Which. Well. Could mean anything.
Was the killer hiding above the door frame?
There's no way they were up there. There's nothing for them to sit or hold on to. Not to mention, they couldn't have stabbed her from up there.
And if there's no place for the killer to sit, then there's no place for the bucket to sit.
Unless you take into account the size difference. The space above the entrance might not be able to support a person, but it could still support something as small as a bucket.
And that thing supporting the bucket?
Killer wanted two things: for the bucket to be above the victim, and also spill it on her when she entered the room. In other words, balance the bucket, but on what?
I got it.
Ah, I got it.
I don't know how we overlooked this, but I've got it. The killer just balanced the bucket on the door.
Like in those water bucket pranks people film?
Exactly. When the victim came into the room, she pushed open the door and caused the bucket to fall on her.
I was on the right track, it seems. Nice.
This would make it so she couldn't shoot back or even get a chance to see her assailant. When the bucket hit the ground, it probably rolled away. That'd explain why we found it a couple feet from the victim.
That is a possibility, yes.
It sounds like the best conclusion.
There's just one problem. How was the killer able to reach that high? Unless they were abnormally tall, it'd be difficult to place something on top of that door.
Well, let's use that as our next point of discussion. How did the killer set up this trap?
Balance the bucket on the door, the killer would need to reach pretty high. Was there anything in the crime scene they could have used the boost? If I can answer that, it'll further cement my theory. Step ladder.
This is it. There was a stepladder hiding behind the closet door. The killer probably used that. After climbing it, they could position the bucket right on top of the door.
Figures.
My precious stepladder? You think the bad guy used my super duper obvious stepladder?
Match point. Occam's razor.
Yes, it appears our killer didn't care much for subtlety. No matter how obvious it seems, it's the only answer that makes sense.
It was the only knickknack of its kind, too. If there's something else that killer could have used, it's escaping me.
I see. It makes sense with what we've got so far. But I'm not done yet. I still have one last question for you apes.
I see she's channeling Frieza from Dragon Ball the Dragon Ball series.
Please just leave us alone. Oh, I'm so tired.
Hey, don't be like that. Grace may be loud, but her questions have really helped our discussion.
Anyway, what was the killer doing when that bucket poured onto the girl's head?
He obviously didn't just stand there and observe.
I have to agree, they must have been hiding somewhere waiting, somewhere nearby, I'd assume. Back to the janitor's closet.
I've got it. The killer was hiding in the back of the closet. If he was pressed up against the furthest shelf and facing the entrance, there'd be a diagonal path between him and his victim. I say diagonal because that's the only way you can make a direct charge forward. Also, when the victim entered the room, she would have been standing with her back to the hallway, right outside the killer's range. That's why the stab wounds were only made to her chest.
Creating the crime scene we found! Great job, guys! We're actually doing this!
That was the last mystery, right? We must have put everything together now.
Even if it's all fake, I feel really bad for this victim.
It's an ugly sight, but she's no victim.
Huh?
Well, technically she is, but let's be real. The girl was carrying a gun. She probably provoked the killer, and they killed her in self-defense. It's a clear-cut case of the hunter becoming the hunted, no?
That's no excuse.
What?
There's no justifying murder. Killing a woman is the worst thing a man could do.
You're emanating a sizable amount of emotional tension. Are you okay?
There's no excuse. There never was an excuse. 28 stab wounds! No girl, no person should ever suffer Kara's fate.
Makes a good point. While it's entirely possible that our victim could have been going after the murderer who killed her in return, that doesn't explain 28 stab wounds. That is usually a matter of frustration or anger, or simply a loss of control, period.
Wait, who's Kara?
It was the victim's name! Didn't anyone read the tablet?
I read it.
I agree with you, dude, but you don't have to shout out your point.
Yeah, and the fact this is personal, it almost makes it sound like this is personal.
Oi, what's all this about? We've figured out the case. Stop trying to drag it on.
No. We're not finished here.
Huh?
There's no murder without a proper motive. We need to discuss why Kara died.
I am not going this far for a fictional murder case. We aren't looking for a murderer. We're looking for answers, which we have.
Do you turn in a half-finished exam, Winona? An essay without its conclusion? This isn't about efficiency, this is about being right. Or do you, a supposed entrepreneur, not value integrity?
I suppose he would know the right words just to strike her through.
What the hell?
Let's just talk about the motive. There's no harm in doing that, right?
Well, what was the motive? Was the killer fighting for their life? Or were they going out of their way to murder?
Maybe the gun freaked him out.
If I was in the killer's shoes, I'd definitely be nervous. Thing is, while acting out of self-defense is possible, since when does it look like this?
Given the severity, I'd liken it to a crime of passion.
Something done on impulse?
What if they were frightened? The spooky thing might have set them off big time.
That's wrong. There's no way this was done in self-defense. No matter what excuse the killer uses, it doesn't change the fact they have blood on their hands.
Yo, bud, you seem a little pressed.
Silence! I won't allow this!
Wow, things are getting emotional. Well, we've only been using logical arguments to further the trial so far. Now might be a good time to change your approach. Introducing the pathos mechanic. Going non-stop with the emotionally charged commentary will appear as purple text. These comments are called pathos statements. You can absorb these by hovering over them with your reticle and pressing E or team. Pathos statement will then be loaded to the truth cylinder. Find a weak spot that's directly contradicted by the pathos statement and fire. Successfully make the powerful emotional argument to counteract your opponents. Stay on the lookout. While you'll always be able to advance the trial using pure logic, emotional can lead to smooth conversations. That's kind of how lie bullets worked in V3, and those were definitely one of my favorite mechanics. They do another official Danganronpa. I hope they bring back the lie bullets because that really makes things interesting.
To kill Kara so easily and without restraint. There is no way to justify this.
Take a chill pill, man.
You expect me to stay calm? This was the sadistic killing of one of humanity's brightest.
We shouldn't make a lot of assumptions about the killer's morals. This could have been self-defense.
You don't even know the damn killer. Just the crime scene they left behind.
This killer, dead or alive, deserves to be brought to justice!
But how can we do that? There's no reason to trust you if you have no proof.
So says the ultimate liar.
Does murder justified or truly unforgivable? I feel like I have an obligation to find the truth.
To kill Kara so easily and without restraint. There is no way to justify this.
Take a chill pill, man.
You expect me to stay calm? This was the sadistic killing of one of humanity's brightest.
We shouldn't make a lot of assumptions about the killer's morals. This could have been self-defense. You don't even know just the kind of thing this killer.
Dead or alive.
But how can we do that? There's no reason to trust you if you have no proof.
So says the ultimate liar.
So it doesn't show up in here, so I can't get some further specification. Was that murder justified or truly unforgivable? I feel like I have an obligation to find the truth.
To kill Kara so easily and without restraint. There is no way to justify this.
Take a chill pill, man.
You expect me to stay calm? This was the sadistic humanity's brightest.
I don't see how that relates.
I made a mistake.
To kill Kara so easily and without restraint. There is no way to justify this. Killing.
You don't even know the damn killer. Just the crime scene.
Oopsie.
What's wrong with that? Is there a second crime scene only?
A second crime scene only you know about.
To kill Kara so easily. Dead or alive. Just.
But how can we do that? There's no reason to.
No, that's wrong.
Pathos counter. So I could use register a little logic if I wanted, but this can work.
Expertise shouldn't be overlooked here. If there's anyone to believe, it's the lawyer. Wolfgang has spent his life in the courtroom and on the crime scene. He'd understand the criminal mind in ways we can't possibly imagine. He was even emotionally invested in a murder case he'd never seen before. If his lawyer's intuition tells us that the killer was in the wrong, then we have no reason to disagree. We're all ultimates for a reason. We need to trust in talent.
Well spoken. If Wolfgang is adamant about the killer's intentions, we should have faith in him.
Logic is probably the safer way to go here, but at the same time, well, lying to find the truth is also rather questionable, so who knows?
Yeah, Wolfgang's clearly trying his best for us.
Let's trust in the lawyer and his bargain bin buddy.
Bargain bin buddy.
Hey, if it means going home, then you guys convinced me.
Right on! Team Wolfgang all the way!
Thank you all for your support.
Well, Eva, do you still disagree?
Even if I did, it's not worth pursuing.
Does this mean we're done here? Hey! We're disembodied voice! We figured out your stupid case! Now let us leave!
Oh, you're finally done. In all honesty, I stopped paying attention a long time ago.
What?
What? We only went through this case because of you.
Silly me, I have a short attention span. So, just for my own benefit, why don't you summarize the information you've learned? It'll be good practice.
Fine.
Practice.
I'll present the truth.
We'll present the truth together.
Sounds good to me.
Let's dig into it.
Time to bring this trial to an end. It's time for the closing argument. One of my favorite mini-games in the series. During closing argument, summarize the case from start to finish. An after meeting will be a comic book. The case has a relatively good understanding, it's already complete, but it seems your peers have glossed over smaller details judging by those gaps. To fill the gaps, you'll be provided with a selection of stock panels. Navigate them and select them. Undo selection, press don't forget because I flip between pages. By the way, gaps will reveal a hint if you go over them. If you ever need to review this information, only way. Now stand up straight and fix that tie. We've got a case to close. What was the victim carrying? Nope. Oh dear. There we go. I knew that one was right. Going up the stepladder of the janitor's closet. Inside the janitor's closet. Excellent.
I got it.
Got it.
The victim was Kara Koshkinen, the ultimate teacher's aide. Right before her death, she was wandering around the academy carrying a large assault rifle. That was probably when our unnamed killer, who was armed with a knife, spotted her.
And decided he'd put her to eternal rest. He slid inside that little janitor's closet, where he began hatching a deadly scheme.
Aye, they needed a way to surprise the victim, who was better armed. The killer grabbed a bottle of bleach from the closet and poured its contents into a bucket.
That's because they wanted to blind Kara by splashing the bleach in her eyes.
Sneaky little bastard.
But to do that, they would need to set a trap and catch the victim by surprise. The killer moved a stepladder behind the closet door and climbed up it to reach the doorframe. There, they carefully placed the bucket.
That way, when the victim opened the door, the bucket would empty its contents all over her.
After completing this setup, the killer retreated to the far end of the janitor's closet and waited for the victim's arrival. The killer could have made noise to attract the victim's attention, Either way, the victim tried to open the door.
And, the bleach splashed all over her. Her scalp, face, and eyes were severely burnt.
Youch!
The killer leapt from his hiding place and began viciously attacking Kara. In his fit of rage and cruelty, he stabbed her from the front 28 times.
While being stabbed, the victim tried to fight back by clawing at the killer. This left the dried blood under her fingernails. However, it didn't deter the killer, and the victim eventually died.
At present, we don't have enough information to reveal the killer's true identity, but their actions haven't been forgotten. That is the truth behind this case. Well, are you satisfied?
A measly 3 acts. Poor Horace would be beside himself.
Who the hell is...
No one cares! We've done your end of the bargain. Now let us out already!
That is what I promised, isn't it? Alright, I'll let you leave this room. But before I do, may I be frank with you all for a second? This entire time I've been hiding behind a speaker, afraid to show my face. My heart tells me you'll react cruelly to it.
I suppose we would have good reason to want to claw your eyes out right now, yes?
However, my head, it raises a compelling argument. Who cares what others think? Shouldn't I get to have a little fun once in a while? Yes. Let's do away with these silly boundaries already. It's time we meet face to face.
Face to face.
What was that all about?
Everybody, look over there!
Toss away those pickaxes, peasants! The walls have finally crumbled. What will you do now that you've reached the other side? Will you treasure this new land? Serve it? Or will you set it ablaze? Well, peasants, have you made your choice?
Yo, what the fuck is going on?
This person, his voice.
Are you the speaker guy?
Speaker guy? No. You don't address your superiors like that. Within the halls of this academy, you'll refer to me by one name, and one name only. His Highness, the great and powerful Tozu, host of the Killing Game! Well done.
We can call me Tozu for short.
Hey.
Now, what do you mean about this killing game here? I'm sorry, I'm not just gonna let you mention something like that and just waltz on by as if you didn't say something that notable.
Show must go on.
Did you really think the story would end once we reach the climax of the case? Quite the contrary, this is only the beginning. Of what? Isn't it obvious? You, my dear subordinates,
Blood is rushing.
are going to kill each other. That's not funny.
Then...
You said we go home if you solve the mystery. I gave you the peasants an incentive. It's not my fault you took it the wrong way. What are you talking about? You lied to us. No, he just said let them leave and didn't specify where.
Rubbish.
Lied? Oh, no, absolutely not. I'm a fair man. A man sworn to truth, if I recall correctly. You're free to leave this place. Alright, I'll let you leave this room. I specifically said you could leave this room, not go home. You sneaky son of a bitch.
Not okay!
You're full of shit, man. There you go, losing control of your voice. That's how you know you've lost the argument. Logic is a cowardly thing like that. It'll jump ship the moment it's confronted with a challenge. He didn't lie, did he? He said he never lies, so when he said this is Eden Gardens Academy. Oh, what am I doing, believing someone like him? There's no way around this, he has to be lying. Hey, why don't you tell us about this dumb game sooner? And watch you peasants run away. I can't host a game without any contestants.
Please don't. I just want to go home.
I want to be with my fam. Please let me go
There's no
home.
need to worry.
There's no need to cry, Miss Tolner. Huh? We're all civilized here. No one's going to kill simply because they've been ordered to. What's this? The peasant has rebuttal? A match between unprepared, unfit players. You could hardly call that a match. In much the same way, this Gaming Pro is a killing game between students who don't have any heart to kill. You seriously think we're just gonna abandon our morals so quickly?
Hey.
Yeah, that's totally right. We're like super boring people. We don't have what it takes to do something like this. My heart is terribly soft, softer than the most delicate piece of mochi. When I see a fly in my room, I catch the poor dear in a jar and return to nature. My mochi heart melts otherwise.
I see.
Argument, isn't it?
How interesting.
So, what has you so convinced? What do you mean? What makes you think the people in this room lack the heart to kill? Do you even know anything about them besides their names and ultimate talents? If you do, then tell me, regarding killing, where do they stand? Will they commit murder if it's for the greater good? Or they commit murder if it guarantees survival? Where they currently stand on the issue the same as what they're willing to stand? Go on, you've had a couple hours to know everyone. It's plenty to learn their life stories, right? Should I take that as a no? Goodness, what a surprise. Not. You wouldn't be here, dressed up in a fancy suit if you were so naive.
Such a spoil.
Oh, and one more thing. That trial you just did, that was your preparation for the killing game. Wow, all you did was make us play detective.
Twist.
And for good reason. Oh, I like the way he's all plot twist. There are reasons I like Monokuma, and this guy's definitely hitting those same notes. If one of you is killed, the remaining students will participate in the true class trial. Your objective here is simple. Uncover the culprit, if you can. Using all the evidence you've gathered during the investigation, you can argue who you believe committed the murder. The result will be decided by popular vote. If you choose the right person, they alone will be executed, and the killing game shall continue. However, if you choose the wrong person, the guilty party will go free, and the rest of you will be executed instead. Those are the rules of the game. Everyone understand? All of us be executed? That's not fair.
Lovely?
Really? I think it's one of our most beautiful rules. Everyone has an incentive to participate, innocent or otherwise.
What's happening?
It's insane. You're treating us like pigs to slaughter. Nonsense. All of you have a chance to survive this game. Do you really think the common butcher is so merciful? By the way, if no guilty party ever escapes, the killing game will end when there are only 2 students left. You may want to remember that, or maybe you don't care. It depends on what kind of person you are. Out of the 16 people, only 2 will be allowed to survive. 2 people, that's hardly better than if someone gets away with murder. I know, that's what makes it so funny. Most of you will die no matter what, and yet with every passing trial, you'll cling to life more desperately.
The show must go
And the exact mindset that causes more murders to happen. Aren't these rules brilliant? A perfect test of the limits of human compassion?
I have an appetite.
I can't wait to see all of you in action. Batman's loud tinnitus-inducing laughter suddenly cut off by well-timed strike behind.
I've said it a million times, you mangy fucking mutt! I want nothing to do with this stupid game!
Ow! Stop it!
Since you've made it clear you won't listen to reason, I'll just make sure you have no arms to kill with!
Do you even listen to when I talk? I'm not the one doing the killing. It's you lot who are...
Grace drove her fist directly to his stomach. She followed with another. It looked like she wasn't going to be satisfied until she was dead. I saw it. A tiny red dot appear on Grace's face.
Hey! Stop already! There's a...
But before we could do anything, the sound of a gunshot echoed through our ears. That's a sniper rifle? Grace released the man from her grip. Speechless, she moved her hand to her cheek, which had been nicked by a stray bullet. We all looked the direction the shot came from. The shooter stood by the pillar, trail of smoke rising from the mouth of her rifle, her mask. The design was a panther instead of a goat, but it was clear she was working with him. You shot at her.
For real?
It's getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them. Is this really the best time for prequel memes? Everyone slowly backed away from Tozu, suddenly fearful for their lives. What a shocking and unnecessary display of violence. I was talking about the Golfo woman. Well, now that you've become acquainted with our enforcer, Mara. If any of you kids try to jeopardize the killing game, such as attacking me, she'll be there to put an end to your shenanigans.
Pardon me.
even though she misses her shots? That was a warning. I assure you, it'll be unwise to further test her sharpshooting abilities.
In any case,
Regardless, I finally have an answer to your previous question. You asked me if I knew anything about my friends besides their names and talents. Truthfully, I don't, but I will continue to trust them if I do, because they are ultimates. They're charged with the betterment of society. They've proven themselves to be above simple acts of self-interest.
we will not succumb.
Even if you trap us, fire guns, and force us to endure farcical courtroom procedures. He's right. Grace is trying to compose herself, still clearly shocked by running with death. No matter how weird these games are, they're talented. Do you really think an ultimate fall for this bullshit? That's right, my friends and I have too much to live for and too much to achieve. We won't throw it all away for your killing game.
Mixed up.
We're all going to escape. We have to. One by one, the students raised their voices in solidarity with Wolfgang. All of them were confident what they were saying, so willingly to blindly put faith in each other. For some reason, it made me sick. Never underestimate the strength of human connection. I'm quite familiar with this idea. What kind of captain will I be if I couldn't even handle a small crew of 15? This horrible feeling of contempt. Why do I feel this way when everyone else seems hopeful? The voice inside me was answered by another. You've got it all wrong. Students turned their attention towards Eva, surprised by our words. Eh? Do you actually believe no one here will try and kill? You're already naive. I don't know how you made as a lawyer. Well, instead of resorting to random and ad hominem attacks, why don't you explain your reasoning?
It's the truth.
It's obvious. Compared to people, ultimates are more prone to killing, not less. Living with constant praise has ruined our sense of self. If you need examples, look around the room. Excuse me? In the outside world, ultimates do anything to further their own goals. The same is likely true here. Once you realize your dreams can only be achieved if you escape, you'll resort to it.
Can't you see?
Continue to convince all these people to trust each other, you'll only be more vulnerable. Unless, of course, that was your plan all along. Is it possible you want to make everyone vulnerable? So that it'll be easier for her to kill them. As much as I really don't like what she's saying, she does have a good point. At the same time, it really depends from person to person. And plus, I have the feeling our goat buddy there, Tozu, is unlikely to just sit by and let the crew doing. Even in the main games, they made sure that you have reasons beyond just, hey, you can leave if you kill.
That's enough.
I mean, sometimes it is a bit out there still, but I mean, well, sometimes, well, a requirement of the genre is that things do have to go to hell. Otherwise, there's no game. Suddenly, Ingrid stepped up to front Wolfgang practically. Wolfie's done nothing wrong, he's given all of his vote of confidence. Yeah, it's something we all needed. Stop trying to turn us against each other, please. Horrible feeling grew stronger as the other students admonished her. It grew stronger, and I knew I had to say something. Eva's right.
No!
Damon, not you too. Look, I get it. You want to make the situation less scary, but Eva makes a good point. All of us have a clear motivation to leave this place, even at the cost of lives. Whether it's to our families, for the sake of our talents. I would never kill anyone. Donna, you yourself said you had too much to achieve. Don't you see that's playing right into the masked man's hands? This whole World Ultimates thing is inane anyways. After meeting all of you, it's clear none of us have the same goals. What are you insinuating? Don't we all carry the same obligation to prove the world we're in? This question angered me more than anything I'd said before. I could no longer support my true feelings. Look, the title barely means shit nowadays, alright? Most Ultimates are dullards obsessing over some pointless hobby. Their talents don't contribute to anything of worth. The only thing they're capable of is leeching out public attention for their own goals. Ouch, man.
You've got to be kidding me.
You gotta be kidding me. Running a business that feeds off violence is pointless. Now, some of you are the exception, obviously, but come on, there's no way the rest of you can improve the world we live in on niche fixations.
That was very...
Don't you mean rest of us? You're an ultimate too. Yeah, well, what makes you so special? I can feel the words worming away to my soul. What makes you so special? Well, I can actually achieve many things with my talent. I can argue policy, consider ethics, morality. Better yet, I was the one who got you guys through that trial. Is that really what happened? I remember all of us contributing, helping out. Yo, what's going on? You think you're better than us because you say words nobody understands? That stuff is relative. Like, tell me what a dragster is, do you know? Watch your step, lest you trip and fall from the unparalleled heights of your vanity. I'm disappointed in you. How are you so concerned about making yourself look good when we're all in the middle of death game? Wait, I wasn't trying to... It's no use, they turn against me, hurling obscenities, scowling, or simply shaking their heads.
This lovely.
You, do I sense anger, hatred, unquenchable sense of bloodthirst? We'll save that for later. I'm the only person who can spill blood in the courtroom. The elevator will take you back to the killing game arena. We've cleaned up the crime scene, prepared a dorm room for each of you.
Lost.
Thanks, now can you get lost? Okay. He returned to his podium with the masked woman trailing closely behind. The bizarre mechanism in the bottom of the room lowered the two of them into the ground out of sight.
Hey,
We're not gonna kill anyone, right, guys? No matter what happens, we're all gonna make it out of here okay. It's only when the madman left that reality truly began to set in. I'm trapped in a killing game with people who despise me. How did this happen? I wanted to help, just wanted to help, make sure we didn't trust each other too easily, and now I'm being treated like a bad guy. These people practice what they preach. It's called reading the room. Like, in one of those I mentioned, and the Benson from regular show is usually in the right. Well, the times he isn't is usually the ones where he is more concerned with the "and I told you so" than actually dealing with the problem. Yeah, just because you're technically correct does not make you right. Just because you're correct doesn't make you right. These people practice what they preach. Will they really refuse to kill, though? Can't trust anyone here. For better or worse, it's me versus them. So cue the beginning of the end. Yeah, unfortunately, this is also a good example of the prisoner's dilemma here. Objectively speaking, neither one speaking out against one another is the best overall outcome for everyone involved. They all get out for the same time with a net gain. However, technically speaking, the selfish decision is the smartest one, because if you can't trust the other person, and you don't know if they're going to to rat you out, and if you do so, then either you get out early or you will both get the punishment, because you not doing it and they do is the worst possible scenario for you. You avoid it by being a dick, but not doing it is technically the best overall. So yeah, it's just it's too big of a risk, basically. I unfortunately can empathize with Damon with what he's feeling right now. Beginning of an unfathomable nightmare of unrelenting despair. Like I said, the thing about Prisoner's Dilemma is while the obvious solution and best solution is to just keep quiet, the best personal gain is to speak up, because it has the best possible gains for you, while the worst possible loss is by not talking. The beginning of the killing game. I went with that a bit too long, I guess. Damon Matsu, Ultimate Debater. Eva Tanaka, Ultimate Liar. Desmond Hall, Ultimate Marksman. Eloise Tollner, Ultimate Fencer. Toshio Kira, Ultimate Matchmaker. Winona, Ultimate Entrepreneur. Ulysses Wilhelm, Ultimate Historian. Mark, Ultimate Music Producer. Ultimate Cosmetologist. Ultimate Lawyer. Ultimate Influencer. Ultimate Drag Racer. Ultimate Blacksmith. Ultimate Golfer. Ultimate Ship Captain. Ultimate Pro Gamer. Fortunately, I believe this is the end of the demo, but we'll find out very shortly. Surviving members, 16. To be continued. Ooh. Yeah, I'll say the voice actors did a good idea. Did a good job. Alright, I'll go ahead and skip this and go back here. Now, this definitely felt really good. The case was relatively simple, but of course it's effectively a tutorial mission, so that's pretty good. Definitely be keeping an eye on the full project, to be sure, and I did notice they didn't directly use Monokuma or the others, or any of Hope's Peak from the original games. So that's good. That means it can stand on its own, and I think that's a good thing as well. But yeah, I've been doing a bunch of mysteries lately, and this is definitely one that did not disappoint. I'm really looking forward to seeing how all this plays out. And like the other Danganronpa games, I fully expect our friend Tozu there to make sure that there are incentives to kill regularly, even if they normally wouldn't. It's very difficult. Sometimes you just right push, I suppose, or at least that's probably what he'd say. So, yeah. Wish I had more in-depth final thoughts, but yeah. Really liking this one, and I look forward to seeing when the rest comes out. Alright, until next, and I guess that'll be all for tonight. Until next time, thank you for watching. Hope a good time, and looks like there's enough time to raid someone, so I think I'll do precisely that. Alright. Gravity and Biscuits is doing some Dark Souls 3. Alright, sounds good to me. So we'll go ahead and do that. Alright. Give love to Gravity and Biscuits, and until next time, thank you for watching. Hope you had a good time, and I'll see you later.